Very good evening to all of you. It's a very pleasant evening for us to start season 2 of and the first session of this year's Know Their Story, Write Your Story series. This is a very special guest lecture series which we have started since last year and very aptly named Know Their Story, Write Your Story. So here we have with us today, along with Kedar sir, always a guiding pillar and somebody who stands by us with every initiative. Today, especially, we have Harshavardhan BJ. Harshavardhan BJ is the achiever, All India rank 318, and somebody who's dreamt of being in a service from the time he started civil services, and he finally looks to have achieved it. Congratulations, Harsha, from the entire team and family of India for IAS. Among the audience, we have all the fresh audience who are somebody starting their career in civil services. This is the fresh batch who are just about 3 weeks young into the class. And I should personally recall about 10 of them had repeatedly emphasized, please make us talk to an IPS officer. So here is an IPS officer who was dreaming of becoming an IPS officer from the time he started his civil services journey. So I'll take few minutes in just introducing Harsha to you. We'll welcome Harsha to the gathering, and then I would request Kedar sir to address the audience for a few minutes. Harshavardhan is a resident of Bangalore. His father is Jai Kumar, works as an accountant. Mother is a housewife, Ms. Gayatri. He's done his schooling from Shri Vidya Mandir High School, intermediate again from Shri Vidya Mandir PU College, B in computer science from RV College of Engineering. Total, this is his 6th attempt. He's appeared in 3 interviews. He was in Indian Railway Personnel Service as officer trainee. He was presently serving in DANIPS, that's Delhi Police Services, as trainee officer. And this year, he's rank 318 and he's achieved his dream of IPS. So to recall the idea, in this year's preference list, the only service that he had put was IPS and rest all columns were blank. That's how serious and willing he was for the service of IPS. So to achieve, to consider, to turn a dream into reality is a very pleasant feeling. And that is something we wish all of you achieve in days ahead. So congratulating Harsha once again from on behalf of everybody and the team of India for IAS. Congratulations, Harsha. Behind a dream, there are millions hearts which join together, which pray, which work along. And one such is Dr. Kedar sir also, who has been repeatedly guiding and continuously standing along with every member who is going into the interview, who is starting his journey into civil services. And Kedar sir knows the journey of Harsha also from almost 3 to 5 years that he's been continuously associated. I now request Kedar sir to address the fresh audience. This is the first batch of this academic year, sir. They would be very anxious to listen to you, and then we will move on to Harsha.
Harsha avrige devaru avara hudde ಸಮಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರ ಒಂದು ಅನಿಸಿಕೆಗಳು, ಸಂತೋಷಗಳು, ಅವರ ಒಂದು ಭಾವನೆಗಳಿಗೆ ಪೂರ್ತಿ ಒಂದು ಗೆಲುವು ತೋರಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಅವರ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹುದ್ದೆಗಳಲ್ಲೂ ಯಶಸ್ಸು ಕಾಣಲಿ ಅಂತ ದೇವರನ್ನ ಕೇಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಿಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರ ಆನ್ ಆಲ್ ಯುವರ್ ಬಿಹಾಫ್ ಐ ವಿಶ್ ಹಿಮ್ ಎ ವಂಡರ್ಫುಲ್ career and a wonderful service in IPS. Okay, let's give him a big hand for that. This is on my behalf. Okay. ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಬರೋಕ್ ಮುಂಚೆ ನಾನು ಅವರು ಕೂತಿದ್ವಿ. ಒನ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ ದಟ್ ನಾನು 70 ಈಗ ಈ ಏಜಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವಾಗ ಡಮಾರ್ ಆಗ್ತೀವ ನಮಗೂ ಗೊತ್ತಿರ್ತದೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಹಾರ್ಟು, ಮಣ್ಣು ಮಸಿ, ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಿ ರಿಪೇರಿ ಇರ್ತೋ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಿರಲ್ಲ. ಬಟ್ ಐ ವಾಸ್ ಶೇರಿಂಗ್ ಹಿಮ್ ವಿತ್ ಅ ಡ್ರೀಮ್ ಇನ್ 5-6 years ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೌ ಡು ಐ ವಾಂಟ್ ದ ರೂರಲ್ ತಾಲೂಕ್ಸ್, ಹೌ ಇಟ್ ಶುಡ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಅಂತ. I don't know whether I do it or not, but at least Harsha said, we will ensure that this will happen. Why I am telling you that? ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾಕೆ ಅದು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಕನಸು ಕಾಣೋದ್ರಿಗೆ ಹೆದರಬಾರ್ದು, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ನನ್ಗೆ 2 ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಇದೆ. ಒಂದು, ಅಯ್ಯೋ 70 ಆಯ್ತು, ಯಾವಾಗ ಏನಾಗತ್ತೋ ಏನಪ್ಪ, ಓಲಿ ಬಿಡು, ಮನೇಲಿ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ರಗ್ ಮುತ್, ನೋ ಚಾನ್ಸ್. I'm still trying to do something. Ivattu ತೋರಿಸ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ because this is something else. This fits into his personality. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಹೇಳಿದೆ. In fact, in health, something that I want to revolutionize health services delivery in this country. I'll not die till that. I know it takes 5 to 6 years. Yesterday only, I made a presentation at national conference at Bhubaneswar, where people from WHO, ICMR, Government of India, Government of Orissa, all come. So I shared with them just like you were getting glimpse ತೋರಿಸಿದೆ ಹಾಗೆ. So first thing that I would like to tell you, I know you have already attempted. Otherwise, ಈ building ಅಲ್ಲಿ second floor ತಾನೆ. ಈ second floor ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ ಡ್ರೀಮ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ. I wish you all the very best and my applause. ನಿಮಗೆ ನೀವೇ applause ಕೊಟ್ಕೊಂಬಿಡು. Because ನಾನೊಬ್ಬ ಚಪ್ಪಾಳೆ ಹೊಡೆದ್ರಾಗ. You have started dreaming. So don't stop dreaming. Right? So now, ಹರ್ಷ ನೋಡಿದಾಗೆಲ್ಲ ಈ ಕೆಲವರಿಗೆ ಹುದ್ದೆ ಅಥವಾ ಅಫ್ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ಐ ಯೂಸ್ ಟು ಟೆಲ್ ವೆಲ್ ಆಸ್ ಕನ್ನಡ ಕಲ್ಚರ್ ಸೆಕ್ರೆಟರಿ ರಾಜ್ಯೋತ್ಸವ ಅವಾರ್ಡ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ವಿ ನಾವು ಕಂಪ್ನಿನಲ್ಲಿ. ಅಫ್ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಹೋದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಪದ್ಮಶ್ರೀ ಪದ್ಮಭೂಷಣ ಅಗೇನ್ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾಡ್ ಟು ಹ್ಯಾಂಡಲ್ ದಟ್. ಸೊ ವಿ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಆಫ್ 2 types ಆಫ್ ಪೀಪಲ್. ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಅವಾರ್ಡ್ ಕೊಟ್ಮೇಲೆ ಅವ್ರ ಬೆಲೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇನ್ ಕೆಲವರು ಇರ್ತಾರೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಅವಾರ್ಡ್ ಕೊಟ್ಮೇಲೆ ಅವಾರ್ಡ್ ಬೆಲೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಪೀಪಲ್ ಬ್ರಿಂಗ್ ರೆಪ್ಯೂಟ್ ಟು. ಸೊ ಲೈಕ್ ದಟ್ ಸಮ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ when they get IPS their value will go up, but somebody like Harsha, when he accepts IPS the value of IPS will go up. It's not the value of Harsha. So that is his greatness, that is his commitment, that was his determination. He always dreamt of that dream. Passion, commitment. ಆಗೋ ತನಕ ಬಿಡಲ್ಲ. So that is something that I want you to look at it and you learn from him, get motivated from him. So possibly I will end up in another one sentence because I don't want me to be between you two people. ಇಷ್ಟು ಮಾತ್ರ ಗ್ಯಾರಂಟಿ. ನಾನ್ಗೆ IAS ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಯಾರಿಗಾರು IAS ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. If I was able to do IAS, anybody else can do IAS. ನಾನು ಹುಟ್ಟಿದ್ದು ಅತಿ ಬಡ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿನಲ್ಲಿ. ವಾರದಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ತಂದೆ 3ನೇ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಡ್ರಾಪ್ ಔಟು, ನಮ್ಮ ತಾಯಿ 2ನೇ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಡ್ರಾಪ್ ಔಟು. ವಾರದಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ತಾಯಿಯವರು ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಿ ಅಡುಗೆ ಮಾಡೋರು, ನಮ್ಮ ತಂದೆ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಿ ಪೂಜೆ ಮಾಡಿಸೋರು. ಯಾವತ್ತಾರು ದುಡ್ಡು ಬಂದರೆ ಊಟ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ವಿ, ದುಡ್ಡು ಬಂದಿಲ್ಲದೆ ಊಟ ಮಾಡಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಸರ್ಕಾರಿ ಶಾಲೆ, ಕನ್ನಡ ಮಾಧ್ಯಮ ಸರ್ಕಾರಿ ಶಾಲೆ. ರೈಟ್. ನಮ್ಮ ಲೈನೇಜಲ್ಲೇ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ಅಂತ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. I didn't know that there is something called government service. ನಮ್ಗೊಂದೇ ಒಂದು ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿತ್ತು, ಮೇಷ್ಟ್ರು. ನಮ್ಮ ತಂದೆ ಮೇಷ್ಟ್ರು ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಆಸೆ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ರು. ಪಾಪ 3ನೇ ಕ್ಲಾಸಲ್ಲೇ ಆಚೆಗೆ ಬರ್ಬೇಕಾಗಂತ. ಸೊ ಮೇಷ್ಟ್ರಾಗ್ಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಮೇಷ್ಟ್ರಾಗಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ PG ಮಾಡಿ, ಪೋಸ್ಟ್ ಗ್ರಾಜುಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕಾಲೇಜ್. ಓನ್ಲಿ ಥಿಂಗ್ ದಟ್ ವಿ ವರ್ ಅವೇರ್ ಆಫ್. ಸೊ ನನ್ನಂತವನೇ ಮಾಡಿದ್ಮೇಲೆ there is nothing which is going to stop you from achieving your dreams. PG ಮಾಡಿ 2 ವರ್ಷ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ನನಗೆ I came to know that there is something called civil services. PG ಮಾಡಿ 2 ವರ್ಷ ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಕೂತಿತ್ತು ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ, ಏನು ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಈ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಹುಡುಗರೆಲ್ಲ PUC ನಲ್ಲೇ. ನನ್ನ ರಿಲೇಷನ್ ಒಬ್ಬರಿದೆ ಹಂಸಿನಿ ಅಂತ, PUC ಇನ್ನೂ ಪಾಸೇ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಅಂಕಲ್ ನಾನು ಸಿವಿಲ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸಸ್ ಓದ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡೋಗಿ ಪ್ರಶಾಂತ್ನ ಭೇಟಿ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ತೀರ. In PUC itself she has decided. So ನೀವುಗಳೆಲ್ಲ in advance you plan. ನಮ್ಮ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಅವೆಲ್ಲ ಅಡ್ವಾನ್ಸ್ ಪ್ಲಾನಿಂಗ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. IAS ಇದೆ ಅಂತಾನು ಗೊತ್ತಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ. So that's why I'm saying I'm very confident. ಶ್ರೀನಿವಾಸ್ ನಾನು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕರ್ಸಿರೋದೇ ಅದೇ, ನಾನು ತೋರಿಸ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಸಾಕು ಈ ಅಪ್ಪನಿಗಾಗಿದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನನಗೆ ಹಾಗೆ ಆಗತ್ತೆ. Each one of you can be guaranteed. Okay. Now, only one last sentence, then I leave. If you want to ask questions, you can ask questions. ನಿಮಗೆ ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ you should only promise to me and promise to yourself that ಇನ್ನೊಂದು 10 ಜನ to get into civil service from Karnataka, ನಾನು ದುಡಿತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಭಾಷೆ ಕೊಡಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. Okay, nothing else I expect. So you all give me a promise that ನಾನು ಕಷ್ಟ ಪಡ್ತೀನಿ. Now including Harsha, I should say, ನಾನು 10 ಜನಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು I will guide them and I will. In fact, ಇಕ್ರಮ್ ಅಂತ ಒಬ್ರು ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಪಾಪ, ಅನ್ಫಾರ್ಚುನೇಟ್ಲಿ ಈ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ ಅವರೊಬ್ರು ಗೈಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು ನಿಶ್ಚಿತ್ ಅಂತ, ನನ್ನ ಹತ್ರ ಕಳಿಸ್ಕೊಟ್ರು. ಈ ಸತಿ ಆಗ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅವ್ರು ನಿಶ್ಚಿತ್ಗೆ. ಅಫ್ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾರು ನಿಲ್ಸಲ್ಲ. ಐ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಎನಿಬಡಿ ವಿಲ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಮರಳಿ ಯತ್ನ ಮಾಡು. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಯು ಕಾಂಟ್ ಬಿ ವೆರಿ ಗ್ಯಾರಂಟಿಡ್ ದಟ್ ಅಡ್ವಾನ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಯಾರು ವರ್ಕ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಯು ಪ್ರಾಮಿಸ್ ದಟ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಗಿವ್. ದೀಪದಿಂದ ಒಂದು ದೀಪ ಹಚ್ಚಲಾಗಿದೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಒಂದು ಕ್ಯಾಂಡಲ್ ಲೈಟ್ ಆದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಲೈಟ್ ಅನದರ್ 10 ಕ್ಯಾಂಡಲ್. ಅಷ್ಟು ಮಾಡಿ ದೇವ್ರು ಒಳ್ಳೇದು ಮಾಡಲಿ. ಆಲ್ ದಿ ವೆರಿ ಬೆಸ್ಟ್. ಎನಿ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಅನದರ್ 5 minutes. Because today I was so happy I am not in a mood to speak. Because otherwise normally ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. But today I am so happy seeing him. ಎಲ್ಲ ಮರ್ತೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ರು. ಏನು ಹೇಳಕ್ ತೋರಿಸ್ತಾರೆ. ಎನಿಥಿಂಗ್ ಯು ವಾಂಟ್? ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಕೇಳಬೇಕಾ ಅಥವಾ ನೀವೇ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ? Okay. Now, one of the things that is very, very critical in life, ನಿಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಇದು ಸೆಂಟ್ ಜೋಸೆಫ್ಸು, ಸೆಂಟ್ ಜಾನ್ಸು, ಸೊಫಾಯಾ, ಕ್ರೈಸ್ಟ್, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಓದ್ದೇ ಇರೋರು ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ? ಕೈ ಎತ್ತಿ. ಇದು ಯಾಕೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ? ಅಫ್ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ನಾನು ಕೈ ಎತ್ತಬೇಕು. You know, one of the things that I have noticed, ಯಾಕೆ ಕೈ ಎತ್ತಿಸ್ತೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಐ ಫೆಲ್ಟ್ ಇಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ಯಾರೋ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು IAS ಮಾಡಪ್ಪ ಅಂತ, ದೊಡ್ಡ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ ಶ್ರೀನಿವಾಸ ಮೂರ್ತಿ ಅಂತ. ಈಗ ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ದಂಗೆ ನನಗೆ ಆವಾಗ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ನೀನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀಯ, ನೀನು ಬುದ್ಧಿವಂತ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಕಷ್ಟಪಟ್ಟೆ, ಯಾರೋ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ದುಡ್ಡೆಲ್ಲ ಕೊಟ್ಟರು ಅಕ್ಕಪಕ್ಕದ ಮನೆಯವರು, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಪುಸ್ತಕ ತಗೊಂಬಂದು ಓದಕ್ಕೆ ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿ. ಸೊ ರೀಡಿಂಗ್ ಯುವರ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್, ಹಳೆ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಪೇಪರ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕೊಂಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಂದು ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಎಲ್ಲ. ರೂಮಲ್ಲಿ ಬಾಗ್ಲಾಕೊಂಡೆ, ನಮ್ಮ ಅಪ್ಪ ಅಮ್ಮ ನನ್ಗೆ ಏನು ಹೇಳಕ್ ಸಾಧ್ಯವೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ವಾಟ್ ಕೆನ್ ಯು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಎ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್, ಥರ್ಡ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್? ಎಲ್ಲ ನಾನೇ ಮಾಡಿದೆ. ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಉಪಹಾರ ದರ್ಶಿನಿಗಳು, ಅವರು ದರ್ಶಿನಿಗಳಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್. ಐ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಟೆಲ್ ಯು ರಿಟರ್ನ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್, ನೀವು ಯಾರು ಬೇಡ, ಬಾಗಿಲು ಹಾಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಲಾಕು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಒಳಗಡೆನೆ ಊಟ ತಿಂಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ನೀವು 128 days or 140 days, if you don't come out also, you can do everything yourself. You don't need any other human being at all. Of course, UPSC you can't get through. Anything in life you can't get through unless practice. Practice makes man perfect. ಸೊ 10 ಕ್ವಶನ್, 10 ವರ್ಷ 15 ವರ್ಷದ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ಬರ್ದೆ. ನಮ್ಮ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಮ್ಯಾಪ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಇರೋದು, ಮ್ಯಾಪ್ಗಳು ಎವ್ರಿ ಡೇ ಬರಿತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ. ಸಡನ್ ಆಗಿ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಬಂತು, ನಿನ್ಗೆ ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡ್ತು. ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಹೇಗೆ? ರೂಮ್ ಬಾಗಿಲು ಹಾಕೊಂಡು. ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂ ಇಸ್ ಒನ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಯು ಕಾಂಟ್ ಲರ್ನ್. You can't do it yourself. ಉಪಹಾರ ದರ್ಶಿನಿ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇನ್ನೊಂದಲ್ಲ, 3-4. ಬಹಳ ಜನ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ನಿನಗೆ ನೀನೇ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂತ, ನನಗೆ ನಾನೇ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂತ ಇದ್ದೆ. ಅಕ್ಕಪಕ್ಕದವ್ರು ಏನೋ ಪಾಪ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಓದ್ಬಿಟ್ರು, ಏನೋ ತಲೆ ಕೆಟ್ಟೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ. ನೀವೇ ನಿಮ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಹಾಕೊಂಡು ನೀವೇ ಉತ್ತರ ಕೊಟ್ರೆ ಅಕ್ಕಪಕ್ಕದ ಮನೆಯವ್ರಿಗೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಡೌಟ್ ಬರುತ್ತಲ್ವಾ, ಪಾಪ ಏನೋ ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ, ತುಂಬಾ ಕಷ್ಟಪಟ್ಟ, ಹಿಂಗಾಗ್ಬಾರ್ದಾಯ್ತು ಕೇದಾರ್ಗೆ. ಮಿರರ್ ಮುಂದೆ ನಿಂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮಾತಾಡಿ ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡಿದೆ. ಮಿರರ್, ದೊಡ್ಡ ಮಿರರ್ ಇರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಬಿಡಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೇಲಿ, ಅದ್ರ ಬೇರೆ ವಿಷಯ. ಇನ್ನು ಚಿಕ್ಕ ಮಿರರ್ಸ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಯು ಕಾಂಟ್ ಗೆಟ್ ಎನಿಥಿಂಗ್. Then I noticed that interview is something I was lacking. ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂತ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ, ನಾನು ಓದಿ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ಕಾರಿ ಶಾಲೆ ಅಪ್ ಟು MSc ಎಂಟಾಣಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಷ್ಟೇ ಸರ್ಕಾರಕ್ಕೆ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಏನ್ ಫೀಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ. ಮೇಷ್ಟ್ರುಗಳು ಬರ್ತಾರೆ, ಹಿಂಗೆ ಬರೀತಾರೆ, ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಕೆಲವು ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾನೋಲಾಗ್, ದೇರ್ ಈಸ್ ನೋ ಡೈಲಾಗ್. ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ ಐ ಆಸ್ಕ್ಡ್ ಯು if some of you have studied in so 5 hours, because I've seen students, I've been mentoring for more than 30 years, so I know that ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಓದ್ದವರು, DPS UPS ಆ ಥರದವರು, ಅವಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ there is something called interactive mode ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ನಮ್ಮ ಸರ್ಕಾರಿ ಶಾಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಜನ ಮೇಷ್ಟ್ರು ನಮ್ಮ ಕಡೆನೆ ನೋಡಲ್ಲ, ಬೆಲ್ ಹೊಡೆದಾಗ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ, ಬೋರ್ಡಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೀತಾರೆ, ಆಚೆಗೋಯ್ತಾರೆ, ನಮ್ಮ ಮುಖಾನು ನೋಡಿರಲ್ಲ. ರೈಟ್. ಸೊ ವಿ ನೆವರ್ ಲರ್ನ್ ಟು ಇಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್. ಸೊ ಅಟ್ ದಿ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಇವ್ರೇನಾದ್ರು ಪಕ್ಕದವನಿಗೆ ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ ಆ ಸಿನಿಮಾಗೆ ಹೋಗೋಣ ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ಅವನು ಬೇಡ ಬೇಡ ಇವತ್ತೇನೋ ಮೂಡಿಲ್ಲ, ಮುಗಿದೋಯ್ತು. ವೇರ್ ಈಸ್ ದಟ್ ವಿ ಸೀರಿಯಸ್ಲಿ ಆಸ್ ಸಂಬಡಿ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಸೀರಿಯಸ್ಲಿ ಹಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೆಗೆ ಹೋದ, ಅಮ್ಮ ಊಟ, ಇವತ್ತೇನು ಸಿಕ್ಕಿಲ್ಲ ಕಣೋ, ಅಡ್ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋ, ಒಂದು ಚೂರು ಬಾಳೆಹಣ್ಣು ಬಂದಿದೆ ಅಪ್ಪ ತಂದಿದ್ದ, ಮುಗಿದೋಯ್ತು. ಅಪ್ಪ ನಾಳೆ ಫೀಸ್ ಕಟ್ಟಬೇಕು, ದುಡ್ಡು ಬೇಕು, ನೆನ್ನೆನೇ ಹೇಳ್ಬಾರ್ದಾಗಿತ್ತ, ನೆನ್ನೆನೂ ಹೇಳಿತ್ತಪ್ಪ. ವೇರ್ ಈಸ್ ಇಟ್ ದಟ್ ಯು ಲರ್ನ್ ಟು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ interactive thing where in your life interview is very important. Don't think that interview is for only UPSC. ಯಾವುದೇ ಕಂಪನಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೇ ಹುದ್ದೆ ಹೋದ್ರು ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂ, ನೀವು ಯಾವುದೇ ಅಡ್ಮಿಷನ್ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂ. ಇಫ್ ಯು ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಗೋ ಫಾರ್ some of the specialized thing, you need interview. So the interactive mode is something that you will never learn from your schools, colleges. So, in fact, one of the things that I noticed, yatik nim kayatti ant helide andre, very sad. 2 years back, I think it's 2 years back, 2020 batch, new 22 alla, 2020 batch. ಒಬ್ಬ ಹುಡುಗ ಮಳವಳ್ಳಿ ಹತ್ರ ಬೆಳಕವಾಡಿ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಊರಿದೆ, ಆ ಊರವ್ರು, ಹೆಸರು ಮರ್ತೋಗಿದೆ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಐ ನೋ ದಿ ಸಿಚುಯೇಷನ್ ಬಟ್ ಐ ಕಾಂಟ್ ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್ ದ ನೇಮ್, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ತುಂಬಾ ಜನ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ನನ್ನ ಜೊತೆ ಭೇಟಿ ಮಾಡಿದವರು. ಅವನು ಸುಮಾರು 3 ತಿಂಗಳಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಾಗ ಹಿ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಹಿಸ್ ಫಾದರ್. ಅಮ್ಮನೇ ಬೆಳೆಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಬೆಳಕವಾಡಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಮಳವಳ್ಳಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ಓದಿದ್ದಾನೆ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಅಮ್ಮನ ಜೊತೆನೆ ಜಮೀನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವರು ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂ ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಫಾರ್ IAS ನಾವು ಇದ್ರೊಳಗಡೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, IAS ಆಫೀಸರ್ಸ್ ಅಸೋಸಿಯೇಷನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂ. ವಿ ಗೆಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ UPSC ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಪೀಪಲ್, UPSC ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡಿರೋರ್ನೇ ಪ್ಯಾನಲ್ ಆಗಿ ತಗೋತೀವಿ. ದಟ್ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಕಮಿಂಗ್, ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಸಿ. ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ಬ ಹುಡುಗ, ಅವನು ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಹುಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾನೆ. He has also lost his father when he was 3 months old. Brought up by mother. ಅವನು ಬಿಷಪ್ ಕಾಟನ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಓದಿದ್ದಾನೆ. Then he has done BBA from ಇದು ಕ್ರೈಸ್ಟ್ ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸಿಟಿ. ಇವರಿಬ್ಬರು ಕಂಟೆಂಟು ಸೇಮ್. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರ ನಾಲೆಡ್ಜ್ ಏನಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಒಳಗಡೆ, ವಾಟ್ ಡು ಯು ಕಾಲ್, ಅವರ ಒಂದು ಆಸ್ತಿ ಇಬ್ಬರದು ಒಂದೇ. ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂ ಆಯ್ತು, ಅನ್ಫಾರ್ಚುನೇಟ್ಲಿ ಇಬ್ಬರದು ಒಂದು ತಪ್ಪ ಒಬ್ರು ಆಯ್ತು. ಸೊ ನೀವು ಆಚೆ ಕಡೆ ಹೋದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂ ನಾವು ಮಾತಾಡ್ಕೋತೀವಿ. ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ನಿಮ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಬಹಳ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಮಾತಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದು, ನೀವೇನ್ ಭಯ ಪಡ್ಬೇಡಿ. ಮಾತಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಡು ಯು ನೋ ವಾಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ಅವರ್ ಜನರಲ್ ಇಂಪ್ರೆಷನ್? ದಿಸ್ ಮಳವಳ್ಳಿ ಮ್ಯಾನ್, ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಪ್ರಕಾಶ್ ಏನೋ ಅವನ ಹೆಸರಲ್ಲ, ಮಳವಳ್ಳಿ ಹುಡುಗ, ಬೆಳಕವಾಡಿ, ನಿಮಗ್ ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಇರಲ್ಲ, ನೀವು ಪ್ರಕಾಶ್ ಅಂತ ಅವನು, ಇವನು ಬಿಷಪ್ ಕಾಟನ್, ಐ ಡೋಂಟ್ ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಹಿಸ್ ನೇಮ್. All of us thought that this man is going to get through, and he got through, and that fellow won because he didn't know how to present himself. This man walked in, the moment our bagal takkondu olagade band takshana we knew that he will be selected. Forget, innu Harsha boy open e madilla. So, if you don't have that presentation skills, interactive skills, you are not going to. ಇನ್ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ತನಕ ಇದೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಎನಿಥಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ಯುವರ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಯು ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಅಚೀವ್ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಡೂ ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂ. ನಾನು ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಅದೇ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ. ಐ ವೆಂಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಮೆಟ್ ದಿ ಡೆಪ್ಟಿ ಕಮಿಷನರ್. ನನ್ನೊಂದು ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇದೆ, ಡ್ರೀಮ್ ಅಂತ ಅವ್ರ ಜೊತೆ ತೇರಿಸ್ಕೊತಾ ಇದೆ. ಕ್ರೀಡಾ ಕಲಾಗುಚ್ಛ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಬಹಳ ಹಿಂದೆ ನಾನು ಕಲ್ಚರ್ ಮತ್ತು ಟೂರಿಸಂ ಯೂತ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಸೆಕ್ರೆಟರಿ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಒಂದು ಕನ್ಸು ಕಾಣಿದ್ದೆ. ಅದು ಈಗೇನೋ ಕುದುರೋ ಕಾಣಿಸುತ್ತೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳೋದು, ಯಾವಾಗ ಅದು ಕೈಗೆ ಬರ್ತದೋ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಅದಕ್ಕೂ ನಾನು DC ಹೋಗಿ ಹ್ಯಾಡ್ ಟು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ಟು ಹರ್. SP ವಾಸ್ ಅವರ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ ಮಿಥುನ್ ಅಂತ, ಬಟ್ DC ಐ ಡಿಂಟ್ ನೋ, ಲತಾ ಅಂತ. So I requested SP to speak to DC and fix up an apart. Then I had to explain to her what is it. Otherwise how do? ಈಗ ಇವ್ರಿಗೆ ಬಹಳ ಥ್ರಿಲ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. He said I will be part of. So ಇವರು SP ಎಲ್ಲ ಆಗ್ತಾರೋ ಆ ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ಟ್ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಅದನ್ನ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು to do. But unless you show them what it is, it's very difficult. Okay, now I'll tell you how I overcome my problem. But today ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಆ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಸ್ ಟು ಸಂದೀಪ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಪ್ರಶಾಂತ್. ನಾನು ಫೈನಲಿ ಐ ಡಿಸೈಡೆಡ್, ಓಕೆ ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಇವತ್ತೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂ ಅಂತೀರಾ, ನಮ್ಗೆ ಅದು ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ನಮ್ಮ ಅಪ್ಪ ಅಮ್ಮನಿಗೆ ಡಿಸೈಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ, ಅಮ್ಮ ಅಪ್ಪ ನೀವು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಕೇಳ್ತೀರಾ ಎವ್ರಿ ಡೇ ಹಾಫ್ ಅನ್ ಅವರ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ನಾನು ಡೆಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಹೋಗೋ ತನಕ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಓದಕ್ ಬರಲ್ಲ, ಬಟ್ ಕನ್ನಡ ಓದಕ್ ಬರೋದು. ನಾನು ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬಾ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗಳು ಬರೀತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ, ಅವರಿಬ್ಬರಿಗೂ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ. ಅವ್ರ ಎದುರುಗಡೆ ನಾ ಕೂತ್ಕೋತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ, ಕೋಟು ಟೈ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹಾಕೊಂಡು. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಅವಾಗ ಯಾರೋ ನಂಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಕೋಟು ಟೈ ಇಲ್ದೇ ಸಿಗಲ್ಲ IAS. ಸೊ ಕೋಟು ಟೈ, ಯಾರೋ ಪಕ್ಕದ ಮನೆಯವರು ಈ ತರ ಪರ್ಸನಾಲಿಟಿ ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ಒಂದು ಕೋಟು ಟೈ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೆ. ಅದ್ರೊಳಗಡೆ ನಾನೇ ಮುಳುಗೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ, ಬಟ್ ಐ ವಾಸ್ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ಲೆಸ್. ಸೊ ಎವ್ರಿ ಡೇ ದೇವರ್ ಆಸ್ಕಿಂಗ್, ರ್ಯಾಂಡಮ್ ಆಗಿ ಕೇಳಿ, ನನ್ನ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳಬೇಡಿ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಐ ಟೆಲ್ ಯು ವೈ. ಐ ಟೆಲ್ ಯು 4 things of in interview what will happen. ಸೊ ನಮ್ಮ ಅಪ್ಪ ಅಮ್ಮ ನನಗೆ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂ ಪ್ಯಾನಲ್. ಸೊ ದಿನ 30 days ನಾನ್ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್, ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ಡೇ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ಅನೌನ್ಸ್ಡ್ ಟಿಲ್ ಐ ಲೆಫ್ಟ್. ಅವ್ರು ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಕೇಳೋರು, ನಾನು ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷಲ್ಲಿ ಉತ್ತರ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ. ದೇ ಡಿಂಟ್ ನೋ ವಾಟ್ ಐ ವಾಸ್ ಆನ್ಸರಿಂಗ್ ಇಸ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್. ದೇ ಡಿಂಟ್ ನೋ, ಬಟ್ ಐ ವಾಸ್ ಆನ್ಸರಿಂಗ್. ಬಟ್ ಐ ಗಾಟ್ ಎ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್. ದೆನ್ ಐ ವೆಂಟ್ ಟು UPS. Now, why interview is very difficult? One is that it cannot be done. You cannot practice it all by alone. You need ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಜೀವಿಗಳ ಒಂದು ಸಹಕಾರ. ಒಬ್ಬರಿದ್ರೂ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. One more is also not, because it's a panel there when you go. Second thing, unlike written exams, here you can be taken by surprise. For every step is a surprise. ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ರಿಟರ್ನ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟ ತಕ್ಷಣ ನೀವು ನೋಡಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಆಲ್ ಸರ್ಪ್ರೈಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಗಾನ್. ಬಟ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ಎವ್ರಿ ಕ್ವಶನ್, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಏನ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಥರ್ಡ್, ಇನ್ ದ ರಿಟರ್ನ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ನೋಬಡಿ ವಿಲ್ ಶೇಕ್ ಯು, ಬಟ್ ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂ ದೇ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಡೆಲಿಬರೇಟ್ಲಿ ಶೇಕ್ ಯು. ನಾಲ್ಕನೇದು, ನೀವು ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂ ಬರೋ ಅಷ್ಟೊತ್ತಿಗೆ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ತುಂಬಾ ಟೆನ್ಷನ್ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ರಿ. BP ಇಲ್ದೇ ಇರೋರ್ಗು BP. ಪ್ರಿಲಿಮ್ಸ್ ಆಗದೆ ಇದ್ರೆ ಅಯ್ಯೋ ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ ಸಂತೋಷವಾಗಿರ್ತೀವಿ. ಮೇನ್ಸ್ ಆಗ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಮೇನ್ಸು ಪಾಸ್ ಆಯ್ತು, ಟೆನ್ಷನ್ ವಿಲ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್. ಸೊ ಯು ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಟೆಂಟ್, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ನಿಯರ್ ಬಟ್ ಯೆಟ್ ಸೋ ಫಾರ್. ಸೊ ಅಂಡ್ ಥ್ರೂಔಟ್ ಯುವರ್ ಲೈಫ್, ಥ್ರೂಔಟ್ ಯುವರ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು. ಇನ್ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಯಾರೋ ನಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರಿ, ನಾಳೆ ಹೆಣ್ಣು ನೋಡಕ್ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂ ತಗೋತಾರ ಅವರು ಹೆಣ್ಮಕ್ಳು, ಅರ್ಥವಾಯ್ತಲ್ಲ? ಅವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂ ಫೇಸ್ ಮಾಡು. ಅಫ್ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ವೈಸ್ ವರ್ಸ, you can also interview her, she can also interview. Even marriage is also, you will have to do good interview. You don't perform well, you don't get selected, so you will remain bachelor. But in China, one of the problems, maybe for your GS, they are going to say that they are called 30 plus. They are not married, they are unlikely to be married, because the sex ratio in gender ratio in China is very, very bad, extremely bad. Large number of men are not only. Anyhow, that's a GS. So interview is something you have to, of course, one of the things that I did as mine is something they will share it with you. ಒಂದು ಮಾರ್ಗದರ್ಶಿ ಅಂತ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ನೀವೇ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀವಿ. there'll be 5 Kedars asking you questions of the caliber of UPSC, random, troubling you, asking what is called linked questions, right? Even China ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, then I'll ask you something about Indo-China, like that, related questions ಕೇಳುತ್ತೆ. Then it can shake you a bit, right? And then ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ at your convenience ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, I can see it from my side and I can still assess you. ಸರಿಯಾ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ, ಯಾಕೆ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಈ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಗೆ ಯಾಕೆ ಹೀಗೆ ಉತ್ತರ ಕೊಟ್ರೆ. So that's a wonderful platform called Margadarshi for people who have not studied in Bishop Cotton, Sophia, Good Shepherd School, Christ University. This is something, ಅಥವಾ ನಂತರ ಕನ್ನಡ ಮಾಧ್ಯಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಓದಿರೋದು. ಬಟ್ ಕನ್ನಡ ಮಾಧ್ಯಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಓದಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಸರ್ಕಾರಿ ಶಾಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಓದಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಯಾರು ಭಯಪಡಬೇಕು. ಖಂಡಿತ ಪಾಸ್ ಆಗಕ್ಕೆ ಅದೇ ಬೆಸ್ಟ್. ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತಲ್ಲ? I wish you all the best. I think I've taken more time. Anything more you want me? Okay.
I would request Kedar sir to felicitate Harsha and do the honors. Congratulations, Harsha, on behalf of all of us. And celebrations just begin, and this is journey that will continue.
Proud privilege. Some other day I'll come and this session is going to be more inspiring. Okay. And our Police Academy. Wonderful. Thank you, sir. All the very best. I would love to see you in IPS in Karnataka. You are happy in Karnataka? Then welcome to Karnataka.
So we are into the main part of the session. Harsha is with us. So now we've given you the formal introduction to Harsha. As a friend, as somebody who's seen the journey of Harsha from last 3 years, Harsha is somebody who interacts, who gets along with the students, or youngsters who are dreaming and aspiring with civil services also very well. It was about 2 years back when we met, we requested him to evaluate some copies of students who have written mains answers, who are writing test series. He readily agreed. There are a team of friends who he comes along with. Almost all friends are placed except 1 or 2, I believe. Prithwik is in IPS, so you join in IPS. Pritham is in IFS. So a group of friends who always sweat together. All of them are in different services. 3 of them are in IPS with you joining IPS. So Harsha joins the IPS club, something that he's been dreaming of. So they evaluate papers. They are in continuous touch with students. Somebody who is in continuous touch with civil service. And mind you, with experience, let us tell you, 6 attempts, and that too being in service. He was serving in Delhi Police Services from last 1.5 years now. And with being in service, with full-time police work, which is a 24/7 work, and to study for civil services, cross all 3 stages and also nail the interview. He is one of the top marks, I think the second top marks for Karnataka as such. 190 in interview is not a small thing. So these are the credentials that Harsha carries, the best man to interact with you at this point of time when you have just started your journey. Probably the cream of the honeymoon that you're passing through in the journey, as we all say. So Harsha, it's all your stage. Thank you for accepting the invitation. He was readily agreeing. We need not have to request. He said, anytime I am there, sir, he said. So that's how it is. Thank you so much, Harsha. Once again, congratulations, your stage. We'll give you our journey, your ideas, and then we'll have a Q&A session.
I'm 28 years old. Anyone 21? Anyone 20? Anyone 19? 18? 17? No one? We just had the youngest man in our group leave the room. He was 70 years old, but he has the energy of a teenager. Isn't it? Yeah. So I know why you all have come, but you need to know why I have come here. It's because of 2 reasons. One reason is that there's a saying that gratitude is the mother of all virtues. I'm grateful to two people. One is Kedarnath sir, because I was in Delhi and I wanted, this time I thought, let me interact with great people and improve my personality. And I called Kedarnath sir. It was a video call and he was not well. But just 45 minutes of interaction with him, I believe that added a lot of value to my personality. And that also helped me in getting a good score. The second person whom I'm very grateful here is Srinivas sir. He has been a fatherly figure. I've known him for nearly 5 years, and he's always there. Any problem I have, I know that he's there to hold my back, and I owe a lot to them. That was one reason why I have come here. The second reason is that I'm here because many great people have lifted me here. And now that life has given me a platform, it's my responsibility to help others grow. We grow by helping others. So I thought that sharing my experience might help you in your endeavors, in the exam, and even beyond that in life. So that was the second reason for me coming. And thank you, Prashant sir. You gave a very sweet introduction of mine. Very sweet of you. So where are you all from? Everyone from Karnataka? Anyone from outside Karnataka? No one? Well, most of you must have been from Bangalore. How many from Bangalore? Okay, Mysore. Okay, Mangalore. Okay. North Karnataka, Bellary, Koppal, Bijapur, Gulbarga. Very nice. Okay, coastal Karnataka. Udupi, Karwar. Okay, that's very nice. A very diverse group, but within Karnataka mostly. One more thing which Kedarnath sir asked me a lot of questions. Then after that, I asked him one question during my mock interview. I asked him, sir, why are you so passionate about Karnataka? If for everything he gets excited when he hears the name Karnataka, Kannadiga, Kannada. Then the same with Srinivas sir also. They're very passionate. So that inspired me a lot. So you know most about me. Now I want it to be very interactive. So, sir, can we pass the mic to one after another? And that will be fun, I feel. So anyone who wants to ask a question? Yeah, I don't think you'll need a mic. Please be a bit louder. Yeah. Yeah, thank you. Okay.
Yeah, sir. I will congratulate you first. ಸರ್ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಬೇಸಿಕ್ ಪ್ರಿಪರೇಷನ್ ಯಾವಾಗಿಂದ ಬೇಕು ಮತ್ತೆ ಏನು ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲದವರು UPSC ಎಷ್ಟು ಬೇಗ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು?
Okay. Okay. So my friend had two questions. Now I'll tell you my journey briefly, and I think that will help you. Unlike Kedarnath sir, who didn't have much idea about the exam, I had a pretty good idea. By the time I was 18, I was very sure that I wanted to be a police officer, and I joined RB College of Engineering. And when others used to study computer science, I used to go to library and study newspapers, study magazines, go to the UPSC website, because I was clear what I wanted to do. That was in 2011. Now the year is 2022. I'm 28, and out of my 28 years, 11 years have gone for UPSC. And that was the time I took. But does everyone need so much time? No, I think 1 year before the exam is pretty good if you have good guidance. For example, you have all come here, and here you are in very safe hands. You have wonderful teachers with you. And just 1 year before prelims examination, if you start, I think that should be enough. Within 1 year before prelims and 1 year after prelims, you will get your result. So within 2 years of time, you can land in your dream service. Did I answer your question? Yeah. What else? Next. Yes.
Congratulations, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, it is a very diverse exam pattern.
Yes.
Are we able to predict that, or it is so unpredictable?
Okay. It's a combination of both. You can predict up to a certain extent, but after that, no one knows, because sometimes they call UPSC is not Union Public Service Commission, Unpredictable Public Service Commission. So the answer is that you can predict a little things, but you can't predict all. For example, something in prelims, mains, you can predict, but in interview, very dynamic, they can ask you anything from any part of your life. The best thing is to be best in whatever you do, whatever you have read, whatever you study. So because of that, you will be in a better position. Even unpredictable questions, you will be in a better position to answer. So you have to be your best. Did I answer yours? Yes. What next? Yes, ma'am.
Hello, sir.
Hello,
According
ma'am.
to you, what is most important in this preparation, sir?
What is most important? I think the desire to be a civil servant. That is very important, because if you have the desire, you will run. If running is not possible, you will walk. If walking is not possible, you will crawl. If crawling is not possible, you will do something else, but you will reach the destination. If that hunger is there in you, then rest assured, I don't know how much time you will take, but you will reach there. So that is the most important thing. But apart from that, I think a little bit of a smart brain, a good heart, a willingness to learn, a supportive environment, these things are important. But one biggest thing is a desire to be a civil servant. Whatever it is, an IAS officer, IPS officer, a foreign service officer, whatever it is, there has to be a desire in you. Did I? Yes. Sir? There's a saying that police personnel are not very people friendly. People are get scared to go to the police stations. And do you believe in that? No? Then ask more questions.
Congratulations, sir. First
Yes.
of all, I have a question. You started with the age. So I just wanted to know, people we study when we get into the preparation, but from the age you started or the point where you thought, what was the contribution that you gave yourself to build up your perspectives, personality, and everything during the college and post-college, which added as an extra point to your personality, apart from studies, which indirectly contributed to the studies finally?
Very good. That was a very wonderful question, deep question. Personality development is a daily process. Whatever you do, you are adding personality. You are doing something for your personality. For example, listening to Kedarnath sir, that itself is personality development. And you stood up to ask a question. That takes a lot of courage. And all of you, I know when you're sitting, when I tell you ask a question, you will have your heart beating very fast. But raising and asking question, that also is personality development. So personality development, one more thing is that it's a direction. It's not a destination. So no one has the perfect personality. No one is God. So we are all moving in that direction, and we have in that direction, a lot of things matter. One thing, my interview scores, I'll tell you, I've given 5 interviews till now. First time I got 171, second time 165, third time 182, and fourth time 175, this time 190. And this time actually 190 is equal to around 200 last year, because the interview marks have been reduced. So what added to my personality this time was that in all my previous interviews, I used to go behind marks. And when you go behind marks, I think that's not the right way to do, because you know that you want marks. And when you go and sit there for the interview, your heart is beating very fast. There is sweat coming from your forehead. Whenever they ask a question, you're scared. So instead of that, this time what I decided was that, sir, I decided that I want to be a better person, a better version of myself. Now, how to be a better person? One is to try to be the best in whatever I do. For example, in my job, I am presently an ACP trainee in Delhi, trying to be the best police officer. Then interacting with great people. I was blessed with wonderful teachers. I interacted with them often. Then third thing is a lot of interview candidates. I met a lot of them, just strike the conversation with them, half an hour conversation with them. Because if someone has come to the interview, they have something in them. And I believe that positive qualities are very infectious. All you have to do is just talk to that person for some time, and that person transfers something, some value to you. So all these things, I think, helped me a lot for my interview personality. And it is just because of all those things, my experiences, the people around me, that I have got the marks which I got. Did I answer your question? Yes. So one thing, if I have to tell you how to improve your personality, all of us know what are the traits of a good personality. You have to pursue that. You need courage, and you have to go in that direction. Okay.
ಹಾಯ್ ಸರ್.
Hi.
ಸರ್ ಇದು ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಷನಲ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಇದಂದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಯಾವ ಥರ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂತ ಸರ್ ಫಾರ್ ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ಸ್?
Okay, actually, this thing, if I answer this question, it won't be from the horse's mouth. The reason being, I've never simultaneously worked and studied. Once I got selected for IRPS, but I dreamt of going to the police station. I wanted to be a police officer, so I decided I want to give the examination again. I took leave of 1 year, gave the exam, got selected for DANIPS. And in DANIPS service, it's Delhi, Andaman, Nicobar Island, all Union Territories Police Service. It's a wonderful job, I tell you. Many people don't know about DANIPS, PONDIPS, DANIX, and PONDIX. It's a wonderful service. Then I went there. I finished my training, and it's a very demanding job, a police job. You won't have much time to study. And I finished my academy training. Then I had wonderful seniors. My DCP sir, his name is Satya Sundaram IPS. He looks like a Singham. Then there is one more sir, Rakesh Asthana sir, my commissioner of police. I went to them. I asked them, sir, I wanted leave to prepare for the examination, and they readily gave me leave. So I prepared from Bangalore, and after giving the attempt, I went and joined back, and now I am here. So to answer your question, how can working professionals study? I'm not the right person, but still I have a little knowledge because of my experience and because of my friends who have been able to clear being in profession. One thing is that you have to work double hard, because one person has all the time in the world, and for you, time is a luxury. In that case, you have to work double hard. Second thing is that you can't excel in everything, I believe. See, Sachin Tendulkar, he can't be an excellent cricketer and also be an excellent tennis player. So somewhere you have to make some compromise on one thing. So if your dream is to be a civil servant, be okay in your profession, but focus more on studying. That is the second thing. Third thing is that you have to be very time conscious. For example, a lunch break of half an hour, traveling time of 1 hour, even that you have to convert into study. I think these are few of the things which you need to take care of. But one of my suggestion will be give as much time as possible for the exam and less for work, because the competition is so tough. You have to be really extraordinary if you are balancing these two things. Did I answer your question? Yes. What else?
Some questions online. I'll
Yes,
just
sir.
read up so
Yes.
that you can face the camera and answer the
Yes,
questions. So the question is, we have Vineet who is asking us, how do you maintain consistency in studies, and per day, how many hours of study would you suggest?
Okay. Vineet, one thing about consistency is that I never knew that I will take 6 attempts to be an IPS officer. When I was in college, I was thinking I'll give the exam when I'm 21. By 22, I would have cleared the examination. By 24, I will be an SP in Karnataka. I'll be in the field. But life had different plans. And from 2015, I've been giving the examination. So how to be consistent? See, one thing is that if you have a dream, you don't have to make an effort to be consistent. Automatically, you'll get the energy to be consistent. That is one thing. And the second thing is that about consistency, you need to be very disciplined. For example, someone studies for one day, then after that 2 days break, then again 1 day of study, 2 days break. Things doesn't happen like that. This is different from the degree examinations which we have all given, where just 1 day before the examination we study and we get good marks. It's not like that. You have to be consistent. Only then it will happen. So in one word, if I have to say, to be consistent, have a desire, have a dream, and the dream will make you consistent. Before you start the examination, start preparing for the examination, I always ask anyone who comes to me for advice, I'll ask you, why do you want to be a civil servant? Because when your why is clear, how becomes easy. So find out your why and your how, that is consistency, you'll automatically get answers for that.
Thank you. Sanjay has a question. Sanjay says, sir, my weakness is poor English. How much role does English as a language in terms of writing and speaking plays a role? I want to clear civil services in August.
Okay, I think English is very important if you are given the medium of examination and the medium of interview as English. They are asking you, they are given you a set of languages, more than a dozen languages, and asking you, you choose any language, you can write in that language, you can take interview in that language. So if someone is very strong in Kannada or Telugu or Tamil, they can do that. But when we ourselves are feeling that I am writing in English, so it's a no guess that we have to be good at it. And especially at the written stage, English matters a lot. At the interview stage, it might not matter too much. For example, you sit there and even if your grammar is wrong, you're able to communicate to that person what you are, why you want to get into the civil service, that you're a genuine person, you're a very likable person. Even without good English, you can get connected to a person and that will fetch you marks. So interview English is very important, especially at the written stage. One more thing is that you have a lot of time also. And 1 year, 2 years of time is a lot of time to improve our English. Even I was not good, very, very great at English, but it's because of the effort you put that any skill gets developed.
Meanwhile, if you have any questions here, you can continue with your questions. We have many questions online, so I'm just taking questions one by one.
Ask me anything under the sun. If I know, I'll answer. I've been working as a ACP trainee from the last 2.5 years.
So how did you manage your answer writing skills and where did you develop that from? Like, how did you practice answer writing
Okay.
skills?
Yeah.
Means,
Yes. See, answer writing is a skill, and that skill can be developed. Any skill can be developed only by practice. So, initially, you will write okayish answers, but after that, slowly your answers will improve. I believe that your first good answer will lie above a heap of very okayish answers. So, don't get scared. Start writing. Start writing answers. You have wonderful faculty here. Show them your answers. Ask them, how can I improve my answer? How can I write an answer which will fetch me a very good mark? And they will tell you how to improve. That's how it happens. Okay.
Meanwhile, we have a question here which says, is it good to start in your first year degree and pursue studies through the graduation, and how to do it through graduation?
Okay, I think this question I'm very good at answering because I started preparation when I was in my first year of graduation, first year of degree. In any field, the earlier you start, the better it is, isn't it? Why do so many Chinese people get so many medals in the Olympics? And why our great country is not able to get so many good medals? Because there the talent identification is very early. There they go to the villages, identify the children. This child is very flexible, take her for gymnastics. This girl is very good at swimming, take her for swimming. And they put them in coaching camps and they train them. And because of the decades of training, they have attained almost perfection. So because of that, the earlier you start for anything, the better it is. So first year of graduation, that's a very good time to start, but you don't have to take it very seriously. For example, coming to coaching institute, writing answers, all these things are not required. Initially, maybe till your last year of graduation, you can improve your personality. You can work on building your general knowledge, reading newspapers, magazines, getting an idea about what is happening in Bangalore, in Karnataka, in India, around the world. You have to get an idea about all these things so that in your final year, when you go and join any coaching institute, then you're in a better position to appreciate what they are teaching. And that puts you in a very, very good position. So my suggestion would be, if you're sure about becoming a civil servant, start as early as possible. First year of graduation is a very good time to start.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
ಸರ್ ನೀವು 6 times ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಟೆಂಪ್ಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀರಾ.
Yes.
ಸೊ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಹತ್ರ ಬಂದಾಗ ಹೆಲ್ತ್ ಪ್ರಿಕಾಷನ್ಸ್ ಯಾವ ತರ ತಗೋತಾರೆ?
Okay.
ತುಂಬಾ ಜನ ಫೇಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ ಹೆಲ್ತ್ ಇಶ್ಯೂಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಹತ್ರ ಬಂದಾಗ. ಅದ್ ಯಾವ ತರ ನೀವು ಪ್ರಿಕಾಷನ್ಸ್ ತಗೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಿ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಹತ್ರ?
Okay. One thing is many candidates neglect their health during the preparation. My suggestion would be there has to be a work-life balance. I like Buddha, his philosophy of Madhya Marga, middle path. Extremes of anything is bad. Extreme of studying for 18, 20 hours a day. Extremes of doing anything is not very good. So you have to maybe 8 to 10 hours of study is, in my opinion, enough for any average person to study. And if someone is studying for 18 hours a day or more, then that person is something is wrong with that person. You don't have to study that much. And if you start early, if you're consistent, the pressure just before the examination will be less, because you know that you have taken all the precautions, you are ready for it. So one thing is, be very good in what you do. The anxiety levels will be low. Second thing is that maintain your health well, because when you do something like yoga, gymming, Srinivas sir, I was just telling them that I am here for 2 reasons. One is Srinivas sir. So take good care of your diet, of your exercise. So all these things will make you feel calm. You will not make the mistakes in the final examination. Did I answer your question? Yes.
So related to that, there's one other question. How did you handle failures? Because the 6 attempts, so there were 3 interviews, so there were 3 failures in between where you do not. So how did you handle failures? And when it adds inferiority complex, how do you come about the inferiority complex? So 2 separate questions.
So someone asked Thomas Alva Edison as to, I think he's the one who found out the bulb. So they asked him, and he made number of times, tried making bulbs. And I think 1,000 times he tried, and 1,001st time he finally was successful. And they asked him, you failed so many times. He told, no, I didn't fail. I only learned how not to make a bulb 1,000 times. So like that, even failures, you have to take it in a very positive manner. Every attempt teaches you something. For example, in my first attempt, I studied a lot, but I did not solve question papers, prelims papers, because of which I failed in my first prelims. So I learned that this is my mistake. Second time, from 96, my score in prelims went to 148 out of 200. Cutoff was 116. I corrected my mistake. I learned it. I improved. Then I gave mains, I gave interview, I got 598 rank. Then I realized that I didn't focus on answer writing, because of which I was not able to complete the paper. I left more than 100 marks. And now I learned that you have to write more, you have to practice if you want to complete the paper. Third time I did that, but because of luck, one paper I did not get marks, essay paper, and I had to repeat the examination again in my 4th attempt. Then in my 4th, I got much better rank, but now I realized that to improve my rank, I have to focus more on presentation. I did that in 5th, but in 5th attempt, everything went well except one paper. And then whatever mistakes I had done earlier, I consciously made an effort not to repeat them, and it has landed me in a better rank. So how to take failures. Failures, you should see them as stepping stones for success. If you see them as failure, you feel demotivated, dejected, depressed. You need to have a positive attitude in life. And in fact, in life, failures will keep coming. So you have to learn to deal with failures. Handling success is very easy. Handling failure is something which very few people can do, and we have to learn that. Second thing is that the feeling of inferiority complex. Inferiority complex comes mostly when we compare with someone. For example, my friend cleared, I didn't clear. Now he's superior, I am inferior. No, we should not compare in life. Every person has a different story. For example, Barack Obama retired, I think, when he was 52 years of age. Donald Trump entered presidency when he was around 70 years of age. There was a movie in which they say, Apana time aayega. Have you heard of it? So your time will come. Never compare that someone cleared, you didn't clear. That is one thing. Second one is that all of us we give value to us based on the achievements we have made. That's not correct. Our value is not dependent on a particular exam we clear. Just because I have cleared this examination doesn't make me any superior. Just because I haven't got first rank doesn't make me inferior. Same with you all. Believe that you are the best in the world, and that will not make you feel that inferiority complex. One thing I'll narrate you a small story. There's a movie Jab We Met. Have you watched it? Huh? In that depressed Shahid Kapoor, a very rich man, he comes across a very bubbly Kareena Kapoor, and she keeps telling about herself. He asks her, you like yourself a lot, isn't it? So she tells, I'm my favorite. So if you treat yourself like that, you will not feel inferior. Feel that you are the best. Okay.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, good evening. Tell me.
Congratulations, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, you have faced exams from 2015, sir.
Yes.
How do you felt changes from 2015 to 2022, sir? How I should be ready for coming years?
Very good. So the differences which I've seen is that one thing is the UPSC has been moving more towards analysis from the static part. For example, 10 years ago, I remember that what is Article 19(1)(a), 10 marker. Very simple. Someone who reads Lakshmikant can copy paste it. But now it's more about analysis. For example, what are the concerns related to the office of the governor? How can they be solved? So it's more analysis in nature. So rote learning will not help. That is one. Second one is that you cannot have one-dimensional knowledge. You need now a multi-dimensional knowledge. In a world geography answer, you have to bring elements of history, geography, polity, and write it. Second thing is multi-dimensionality. Third thing is that the level of competition I see is increasing. And now, because thanks to internet, everyone has access to the resources. So the level of competition is very high. But one good thing is that you are all blessed with guidance, which I think in my first attempt I did not have. For example, Srinivas sir was not there with me in my first attempt, but he's there with you in your attempts. So like that, in spite of the changes and the challenges, you're in a better position to handle them. Did I answer yours? Yes.
So questions online, many questions in coming in. What would be your strategy if I'm dreaming to clear in first attempt? What best I should do if I should clear it in my first attempt?
Okay. I think Prashant sir will be a better person to answer this. One thing is for even Sachin Tendulkar needs a coach. Isn't it? Even Virat Kohli needs a coach. So first thing is find a nice coach. For example, India for IAS. If you join here, one good thing what will happen is it will make your preparation very structured. You'll have wonderful teachers who will tell you what to do, what not to do, how to do. That is one thing. Second one is that you have to be very committed. Whatever they teach, you have to do religiously. You have to follow that in letter and spirit. Third thing is you have to be very motivated throughout the 1 year, 2 years of your journey. And fourth thing is that in spite of the efforts they make, even you have to put your efforts. You can take the horse only to the water. You can't make it drink. So it is you who has to drink. You have to put the extra effort. And I think these 4 things will be enough to make you clear in your first attempt.
There's a question specifically asking about related to the answer, which is, would you suggest self-preparation would also help, or coaching is mandatory for the preparation?
Coaching is not mandatory, but there can be Ekalavyas who without coaching, they can do it on their own, they can crack it on their own. But I believe that having coaching is always beneficial, because it will make it very easy, very structured. We don't have to struggle. And there are 2 paths. One is we have someone who will handhold us, who will take us to the destination. Second thing is that we only ourselves struggle and somehow reach the destination. And when these 2 options are there, which one is better? The one which is easier. So when there is easy path available, my question is why to take the difficult path? But coaching is not a sine qua non. It's not mandatory. There are so many examples. Without a coach also, you can clear. But you have to put little extra effort.
What would be the difference in strategy for prelims, mains, and how would you integrate it to interview, getting more specific into the process?
That was a wonderful question. For prelims, you have to cover a lot of surface. A little bit of knowledge here and there about all topics is enough, because the answer is already there. All they're asking you is identify the answer. So because of that, the knowledge can be at a superficial level, but you have to cover a lot of width. But when it comes to mains, you have to go deep into it. Your area will become less, but you have to go more deeper. You need to have deep knowledge. For example, if they ask you something about India-China relations, you need to be in a position to answer 200 words. The superficial knowledge won't work. And now coming to the interview stage, it becomes even more narrower. It's all about you. Even if you don't answer about India, China, India, Pakistan, all that is okay. You have filled a DAF where it's mostly about your biodata. You have to be perfect in whatever you have given. For example, your hobbies. Your hobbies might be watching movies. Now, when you have put your hobby as watching movie, they won't ask you about numismatics. They won't ask you about any sport. They'll ask you about movies. So you need to know very deeply about movies. So as the stage increases, the area comes down, but the depth increases. That's how you have to prepare. Yes, namaste.
ರೀಜನಲ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರೋರಿಗೆ ಯಾವ್ದು ರೀತಿ ನೀವು ಸಜೆಷನ್ ಕೊಡಕ್ಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡ್ತೀರಾ ಸರ್?
Okay. This again is a tough question because it won't be from the horse's mouth, because I have written in English, but still I'll tell you. ಒಂದು ಕನ್ನಡ ಮೇಲೆ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಗ್ರಿಪ್ ಇರಬೇಕು, ಆ ಗ್ರಿಪ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಮತ್ತೆ ಎರಡನೇದು ರೀಜನಲ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಸೋರ್ಸಸ್ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಗೂಗಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಏನ್ ಹುಡುಕಿದ್ರು ಈಸಿಯಾಗಿ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ, ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಗೋದು ಕಷ್ಟ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ ಎಫರ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು. ಮತ್ತೆ ಮೂರನೇದು ಇವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಯೇಷನ್, ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಟೀಚರ್ ಬೇಕು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ. ನೀವು ಲೋಕಲ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆನ್ಸರ್ಸ್ ಬರೆದು ಇವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಅಂಡ್ the fourth one will be, again you have to work on excellence, because even in regional language you have to be excellent. Just because you have taken a regional language doesn't mean that the person evaluator is also Kannadiga. He will give you more marks and make you clear the examination. The effort ashte irutte. So these 4 things. I think ladies are silent. Someone from the ladies.
Okay, question specific to mains now. It says answer writing skills, about preparation and about strategy. What would be few tips for answer writing skills?
And 2 tips for answer writing skill is, one thing is that you have to understand the demand of the question. When there are words like how, what, analyze, critically discuss, evaluate, enumerate. Many candidates, one mistake what they do is, whatever is the word, I will write what I know. If you do that, if you adopt that strategy, then he will give what he wants to give. He won't give more. So you have to understand the demand of the question, and it has to be tailor-made accordingly. And I believe that answer writing is a skill like a sculpture making. You have to carve it beautifully. That is one thing. And second thing which people do is that they focus a lot on interview, but less on answer writing. Interview is the last stage. Our focus will mostly have to be on writing answers, and the more answers we write, the better we become. And also not just writing answers, we also need to get them evaluated, because without evaluation we might think that this is the most beautiful answer in the world, but it might not be. Only when you get constructive criticism, that is how you improve. So these three things are important.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Sir, as you told that we shouldn't feel inferior or make others feel we are superior than others. So what if in the interview we are asked, can you explain how you are better than others mates? So should I tell all the positive things about me, or shouldn't I tell that all are equal, that they are all superior in their own aspects? So how should I answer these questions?
Okay, that was a very tough question, because on one hand, if you don't tell that you are better than others, then why should they select you? They will select someone else. But on the other hand, if you tell I am the superior one, then it might show arrogance. So there is a very thin line. Here, please sit. Here, what you need to do is you have to marry two things. One is you have to marry the confidence with humility, courage with innocence, bravery with politeness. So where you communicate that, sir, I am the best. I believe that everyone are good, but I think I'm a little better than others. Please select me. That is what you need to communicate. And you don't have to tell people that you are the best. If you are the best, people get to know about it. Isn't it? We don't have to tell that we are good. We don't have to tell that we are very honest. We don't have to tell that we are very smart. If we are, people get to know. We don't have to tell. Did I answer your question? Yes.
We'll go on to the interview. We'll take the question. The questions are now coming more about interviews.
Okay.
Given that there are now a lot of YouTube videos about interviews, so they want you to share your experience about interviews, how exactly interviewers will be. What are some of the toughest questions that you have faced in interview till now, and some of the easiest questions that you have faced in interview?
Okay.
So I'm summarizing about 5 questions about interviews.
So interview. Because of YouTube, now one thing which is happening is that even in mock interviews, a lot of videos are there on your face. So I was all used to giving mock interviews without videos. And one day I went somewhere and I see 3-4 cameras everywhere. I was not able to perform. Then I realized why I was not able to perform. Then I realized that it's because of the camera I'm not able to perform. But then after 2-3 days, 2-3 interviews, I became so comfortable with the cameras. I was like, bring me, where are the cameras? Then, so that's one good thing, that a lot of interviews you find on YouTube, you will know the kind of questions which they ask. So there was one question which sir asked, which was the easiest question, which was the toughest question. This is a tough question for me, because I never thought along those lines. Easiest question, I think in my case, was, why do you want to be an IPS officer? Because I was very sure about why I wanted to be. Second thing is that I had answered it so many times that even in my dream, if you wake me up, and even if in my sleep, if you ask me why, I can give an answer for that. So I think that was the easiest one. The toughest one. I'm really not able to think of a toughest one. So I'll leave that question. Any other question which you asked, sir?
We will all want to know, why is that you want to become an IPS officer? Why is that dream so strong from the age that you were in 18? What drive you that you wanted to become?
All of you are telling yes, but you waited for Prashant sir to ask this question. See, the thing was, at a young age, I used to watch a lot of movies. And in the movies, the hero was mostly a police officer. So I thought when I become, I was still a boy then, when I become a man, I will be a police officer, a hero. So that was at a young age. There were times when I used to stalk police officers. I used to go on bike to my college. If I see some Innova, an IPS officer inside it, I used to follow him till his office. And after he goes to his office, again go home. So I used to do all these things. Then but as I grew, I realized that they do a very important thing. They help people in distress. If you're in difficulty, where do you go to? There are few things like doctor, police, ambulance. So when you're in distress, you go to them and they have the opportunity to reduce your distress. That's a wonderful thing. And also once after getting into the police service, I was there. I'm still there. It's been nearly 2.5 years, and I've seen how satisfying the job can be. Someone comes to the police station and you're able to solve their problem, and they will remember you for life. And when you go to bed that day, it's very satisfying for you. You sleep happily because you know that you have added value to someone's life. You have brought smile on someone's face. So because of these reasons, I was very convinced that this is what I wanted to do. And I took a risk also in this attempt, that I failed only police service, only IPS or nothing. That was a risk because if I didn't get into the police service, I wouldn't get any other group A service like IRS, IFS. So that was a risk, but I thought that I have a passion, let me pursue it. And also I had taken a risk earlier as well. I was in a group A profession, group A job, Indian Railways Personal Service. And in a group A service, you start at level 10. If you know about the pay matrix in central government, there is 7th pay commission, where there up till level 17. Cabinet Secretary of India gets level 17 pay. A group A officer, in group A into which you will all be entering IAS, IPS, IRS, you will start at level 10. And from level 10, you rise in the hierarchy. Promotions is very fast. Every 2 years, 4 years, you get a promotion. I was in a group A job, and then I got selected for DANIPS. DANIPS was a group B job. In a group B job, you start from level 8. Everyone wants a promotion, but I took a demotion. I'm not bothered much about salary. I'm not bothered much about the promotional facilities. Let me do what my heart likes. I've not come here for that extra salary. I've not come here for an extra promotion. I've come here to pursue my passion and let me go for it. So I took a risk.
Yeah, questions here.
And one more story I would like to tell is, sir was in Delhi police. Sir was in Delhi police for 25 years. And when the results came, I called sir. I told him, sir, I've got DANIPS. Sir told, it's a wonderful service. You just take it. And because one reason for me taking up the service was also sir. Thank you, sir.
GS ಪೇಪರ್ಗೂ ಮತ್ತೆ ಆಪ್ಷನಲ್ ಪೇಪರ್ಗೆ ಯಾವ ತರ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಟಜಿ ಏನು ಸರ್ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ?
Okay. See, in GS paper, they ask you from a graduate point of view that the name itself is general studies. They're not asking for any specialized knowledge. But in optional, it will be most at a postgraduate level. There, it's not general in nature. It is specialized in nature. So the depth of knowledge has to be more in optional. That is the difference.
ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಟಜಿ ಯಾವ ತರ ಇದೆ ಸರ್ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ? ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಟಜಿ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಬೇರೆ ಮಾಡಿದ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ GS ಪೇಪರ್ ಬಿಟ್ಟು?
There is no separate strategy as such. It has to be, everything has to be simultaneous. For example, when you join here, everything will happen simultaneously. GS will also be running, option will also be running. Here, the depth will be a little lesser. Here, the depth will be a little more. And finally, you go there and you marry them both and write answers. That's how it happens. You don't have to work on strategy. Strategy will automatically happen. Okay.
ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಅಫೇರ್ಸ್ ಡೈಲಿ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ಓದಿ ಅದರಿಂದ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಇದನ್ನ ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಟೈಮ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ. ಸೊ ನಾನು ಡಿಸೈಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ಓದಿ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ಏನು ಮಾಡೋದು ಬೇಡ, ಸೊ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ಝಿನ್ ತಿಂಗಳ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ಝಿನ್ ಓದೋಣ ಅಂತ ಸರ್.
Okay, actually what you told is very helpful for the examination, because in a magazine what happens is that there will already be a set of people who are paid for it, who who put a lot of effort. And in newspaper will be for all. For someone who's looking for politics, someone who wants to write a bank examination, someone who wants to look into sports, someone who wants to know which hero is now in love with which heroine. So it will be for all kinds of people. So if you start making notes, you have to put a lot of effort as to what is important for the exam. Only that you have to pick again, make notes for it. Instead, if you take any current affairs magazine of any institute, then it will make your life very easy. You will save on a lot of time. But however, there is one problem with it. The problem is that your personality will not be complete. You will be more of a bookish person if you do that. What are the traits of a good personality? Someone asked me about personality development. One trait of a good personality is that you have to be a well-aware citizen. You need to know what is happening in Bangalore, Karnataka, India, the world. If you don't read a magazine, if you don't read newspapers, and just you pick up a magazine one day, if someone asks you what is happening, you won't have any idea. You can't tell them, wait, I'll read the current affairs magazine and let you know. So my suggestion would be stick to one current affairs magazine. But apart from that, at least 15 minutes to half an hour a day, do read a newspaper. It will make you a better personality. One more thing is that confidence. When does confidence come? Confidence comes when we are doing the best things. We are doing the right things. We have knowledge. For example, when we don't read newspaper, our confidence falls because we don't know so many things. So if you want to be a more confident person, you need to invest some time in newspapers.
Yeah, so we'll take that question. Meanwhile, we'll slip into the optional side. So there are many of them who are asking your optional. So Harshavardhan's optional is philosophy. So it's not a normal choice. Philosophy is not a normal choice which everybody would take. So how do you choose your optional? What was your idea of choosing an optional? We do a detailed orientation about how is an optional, what is that we should do. But how did you choose your optional? And how did you go about your optional? Specifically, you don't come from that background. You're an engineer with computer science. And then how did you go about studying for a philosophy kind of an option?
Okay. See, optional was very tricky for me because the reason being my graduation subject was not there in UPSC mains optionals. Then I was wondering what optional to take. Luckily, a teacher from Delhi had come. His name was Mitra Paul. He came to Bangalore and to teach 3 days of ethics. And first day of ethics itself, I fell in love with him. His kind of communication, his charming smile, his clarity of thinking, clarity of explaining. I liked him. On the second day, the UPSC announced results. This was in 2016. And one of his students got 11th rank. And I decided that I like the teacher. He has credibility also that his student has got a good rank. Let me take it. And I jumped for it. I also looked the syllabus and the previous year questions. And I was convinced that this is something manageable. I went to Delhi. I stayed there for 2 months of time. Then after that, I came to Bangalore and all my preparation was from Bangalore. So why I selected the optional was this. I like the teacher. He had credibility. Third thing is that I looked at the syllabus and the question papers and I found that I can manage. And it has worked wonderfully till now. Now, the second thing is how to choose an optional. I believe that there are few criteria which you need to keep in mind before choosing an optional. One thing is that your interest for the subject, because you will be living with it for at least 2 years. It will be just like living with a person like your spouse. Without liking him or her, it will be very difficult to spend 2 years, 3 years, sometimes like in my case, to spend 7 years with an optional. So one thing is you need to like that option. Second thing is that guidance. Even if you have a optional where you have liking, but if there is no guidance, marks won't come. Our intention is not just liking the optional, falling in love with the optional, reading it. Our intention is, the larger intention is civil service, getting good marks in the optional. When will we get good marks? When we have right guidance. So second thing is we need to look for good guidance. Then third thing is that before jumping, look at the previous 5 years question papers, look at the syllabus, and after looking at it, you will get a feel, that you will get a vibe, if I have to tell in your language, that yes, This is something which is my cup of tea. Sometimes you read some other optional and you feel that this is not my cup of tea. So take care of these three things: liking, guidance. Third thing was syllabus and previous year question papers. These are the three things.
Hello, sir.
Hello, ma'am.
Some people say like police service is risky for women.
Yes.
What about your view?
Ma'am, I think that first of all, police service is not very risky. It's there will be some amount of risk, but risk will be there in any profession. It's an occupational hazard. Second thing is that, as portrayed by movies, police life is not that risky. In fact, criminals fear only people they fear is the police. Sir would know well. He was there for 25 years. So it's not risky. And for women, I believe that in future, presently it's around 10% of the police force is women in India. It will be 33% in the next 5 to 10 years of time. So a large number of women will be joining the police service. And if a woman joins the police service, she has a lot of advantages. One thing is that a lot of women, children, it will be easy for them to open up to a woman. So people benefit. Second thing is that as a woman, it will be easy to handle conflict situations also. So it will benefit. So I think women have a lot of good future in police services. But however, there are few concerns. One concern is that it's demanding. It's time consuming. For example, I know that officers work at least 12 hours a day. Monday to Friday, even on Sunday, Monday to Saturday, even on Sundays they work. Second thing is that even when other people are celebrating, these people will be out on the roads. They wouldn't have seen festivals. They wouldn't have spent time with family on festivals. Third thing is that it also takes a toll on your health. I've seen that one day you have day duty, next day you have night duty, again day duty, night duty. Your body is confused. What is this person doing to me? And it takes a toll on your health. People tell they have such a big stomach, but they don't think what is the conditions in which he's living. What is the sleep he's getting? What is the food he's getting? So because of that, it will take a toll on anyone. And especially in our society, since it's a patriarchal society, women are expected to be there for children, to be there for husband, to be there for in-laws. It might be a little challenging, but that will be an occupational hazard. But I believe that going ahead, one thing is patriarchy will come down. Already we are seeing more and more women are entering the police service. And in future, we'll see almost 50-50. That is what I see. Do you wish to be one? I'm very happy. Wish you good luck. Okay. See, he asked me what is the importance of handwriting. The examiner there doesn't know who you are. How do you communicate to him? It is only through your answer. And first impression, sometimes it's said that it is the best impression. The first page, if he opens, if he sees very shabby handwriting, you think as an evaluator, how would you feel? What first impression would you make? So if you have a shabby handwriting, then it will be more difficult for you to get marks to again impress the person. So instead, if you have decent or very good handwriting, what happens is that you have a very good first impression. And now he's more interested in reading to make his job easy. He's more inclined to give you more marks. Even half mark per paper will make 10 marks per paper. You have how many? 7 papers. 10 into 7, 70 marks. 70 marks makes a difference of day and the night in UPSC. So you need good handwriting. For those with good handwriting, feel that you are blessed. For those without good handwriting, practice, improve, work on it. For example, even in my case, I tried a lot to improve my handwriting. I was successful to a certain extent, but you can improve. Handwriting is important. Welcome.
Hi, sir.
Hello.
Myself, I am Karthik. Sir, you all are studied in groups and they are all in service. Is group studies gives advantage or disadvantage? Is it is necessary to study in group?
Okay, that's a very good question. Actually, I believe that group study is not a sine qua non. Doesn't mean that if you don't have a group, if you don't study with a group, you don't clear the examination. I've got good marks in 10th. I've got good marks in 12th. Did I do group study? No, it was completely isolated. Me, my room, my books, that's it. But when it comes to this examination, a few things happened to me that I had good friends, and with them I started group study. I started liking group study more. Now, because of that, I reached the stage where I don't study anything alone. I don't get excited to study alone. I want to study in a group. That is how it happened to me. But I don't believe that it is sine qua non. Also, what is very important is that the type of the group with whom you study. If your group is very talented, they want you to grow, they give constructive criticism, very good feedback to you, your wavelengths match. What happens is that your performance increases. On the other hand, you have a group who is always fighting. They themselves do not have knowledge. They are confusing. They try to pull you down. So what happens with such a group? It will pull down your performance. So one thing is that if you feel group study is good, you can go ahead with it. Second thing is that be very careful in choosing your group. A good group and other type of a group can make a hell of a difference. Did I answer your question? Yes. In my case, I was blessed with a good group, and all of us, Srinivas sir knows, he has been a kind of a guru, Bhishma Pitamaha for us. So I had a wonderful group.
Hearty congratulations to you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
I've started off my civil service preparation journey exactly how you started at your graduation time. So what would you have told your 20-year-old self that could have helped you better preparing for this exam, and if you're into extracurriculars in your college?
Okay, wonderful. That's a wonderful question. In fact, one of the best questions for today. One thing is that I focus more on the exam. I focus less on my personality. So one thing which I would have told myself more that time would be focus on becoming a better personality. Focus on your communication, being the best in what you do. That is one thing. That's the only thing which I can think of. I would have told myself that time.
Question is also about time management, because into co-curriculum, a lot of activities in college. How do you balance college studies, co-curriculum, and studies towards civil services?
Okay. One thing is that, again, I told you, you can't be best in everything. You can't be the best in graduation also. You can't be the best in co-curricular also. You can't be the best in civil services also. So choose one area where you want to be the best. Other areas, try to be good at them. Okay. Until and unless you are not extraordinary. So for someone like me who is ordinary, that is what I would suggest. Then second thing is that when you are in first year, second year, third year of graduation, you don't have to devote a lot of time for this preparation. Even 2-3 hours a day will be more than enough. Then that's it. Mostly these two things you have to take care of. Social media. Actually, I'm very bad. I did not have a social media account for a long time. In fact, after coming to the civil services, I think I opened a social media account, and whenever there is exams, I don't use social media. I deactivate it. In fact, I'm social media shy, so that has not been a problem. That might be a problem for you.
Okay, so questions will now get a little more philosophical. There is a feeling that exam is more a mental game than a preparation game. What would you have to say about it?
I agree that it's more a mental game than the preparation game, because if you this is a test of, see, there are two types of running. One is 100-meter running. Second one is a marathon. In 100-meter running, what happens is that in what is the time in which Usain Bolt runs? Around 9 to 10 seconds. So if he makes a small mistake, what will happen? Will he be able to win? Very difficult. The room for error is very less. But think of a marathon. What happens in a marathon? You make a mistake initially. You can always catch up. You falter so many times, you can catch up. So 100-meter is more about strength. Marathon is more about stamina. The same thing about this examination, where if you have to study for 2 years, no doubt strength is important. Your preparation, your hard work, your talent, all these are important. But what is more important is your stamina. You have to keep yourself motivated to run for 2 years. So it's more of a mental game along with preparation.
Yeah.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, ma'am.
So I had a question that it is not possible that every time you will be studying, you'll be having the same energy level. So sometimes it happens, usually all of us face that ups and downs are there. So how can you rebound or like bounce back with the same energy, like after having some depressive time, or like how would you manage that? Thank you.
Yeah. That was a good question. See, our life will always be like a sine curve. Don't you agree? One day we are feeling happy, we are excited, we are motivated. Next day we are not in a mood to study. One thing is that when you are in good mood, try to make the most of it, because you never know when the down phase will come. So when you're in good mood, study as much as possible. And when your mood is not good, when you're not feeling like studying, don't worry, because very soon curve will again go up. So even in your down phase, don't give up on studying. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But try to keep moving. There has to be continuity in your preparation. That is the second thing. Then the third thing is that, again, I repeat the same thing. If your why is clear, then you will always get the desire to study, because now you know that your why is clear. Isn't it? For example, if someone wants to be an actor, you make him work 12 hours a day. You make him act 12 hours a day. He will still be energetic to act. But for someone who doesn't like acting, you put him in acting. After 1 hour, he's tired. He's dejected, depressed. He doesn't want to do it. So fall in love with it. Energy automatically comes.
Okay, so now question is on, there are multiple distractions one faces in the process as a human being, as a preparation aspirant. How did you avoid distractions, and how do we avoid distractions?
Okay, that's a wonderful question. I'll tell you a story which I came across somewhere. Okay. Do you like stories? Sure. Okay. Actually, there was a king. That king decided that I'm fed up with all this rich life. Let me go live a life of a sannyasi, do some meditation, attain moksha. And he left his kingdom, went to a small village where no one knew him, and he started meditation in a small hut. He had 2 dhotis, panches with him. One day, one rat bit that one of the panche. Then after that, now villagers came to him. They told him, sir, this rat ate your panche. So we will bring you a cat, and this cat will keep the rat away. He told, okay. They brought the cat, but cat needs milk. So 2-3 days they brought milk for the cat, the villagers. After that, the villagers told, sir, every day we can't give you milk. So instead, what we will do, we will give you a cow. And that cow, you can milk the cow and you can feed the cat. He told, okay. And the cow came, he was milking. He was not getting time for doing meditation. Then they told him, sir, if you're always milking, feeding the cat, where is the time? We will bring you one maid, and that maid will do all this work. You can focus on meditation. He told, yeah, okay. Then the maid came. After a few months, they told, sir, in an ashram, one lady coming or unmarried lady and an unmarried man, people won't talk positively about it. So why don't you marry her? Then you can easily, there will be legitimacy. Then after that you can do your tapas, you can get moksha. Then he told, is it fine? He married. Then another few months passed. Then again villagers came. Sir, you both are married, but still children are not happening. They are talking negatively about you also, about the lady also. So to shut their mouths, you need to have at least one child, sir. He told, okay, and he had a child. Now again, villagers came and told, sir, only one child, you'll feel lonely. He needs to have someone to play with, at least 2-3 children. Then he had 2-3 children. Now with one cat, one cow, one wife, 3 children, where will you do moksha? When will you do meditation? Where will you attain moksha? So if you want to study something, if you want to do something in life, you have to reduce your needs. So you asked me about social media. You are focusing on this. Why social media? Second thing is, you have so many distractions. Why all those distractions? Don't expand your needs. Reduce your needs. That will keep you focused.
An answer that demands a big round of applause. Brilliant way to answer it. Yeah. So on the final note of some questions on the same line, how much role does luck play in the exam, and is it really important?
I think luck plays when I was young, very young, then I thought that it's all about me. I am the one, I create my own destiny. But as I mature in life, I'm seeing that luck plays a big role. In fact, a bigger role than our effort. One simple thing, had I been born in a remote village in Odisha's Bolangir district, would I have knowledge about civil service examination? Would I get any English coaching? I wouldn't have. So even being born to my parents is itself a matter of luck. Second thing is that there are so many things, that finding the right teachers, finding the right study group, being in the right state of mind when I go for the interview board liking me, they giving me very good marks in interview. Instead of 190, had they given me even 180, I don't think I would have got this service. And interacting with great people like Srinivas sir, many others. Even if I had not I interacted with 10 people, if I had not interacted with those 10 people, I would have lost 1 or 2 marks here and there, and my interview score would have been less. So there are so many factors of luck which bring us here, and that should make us very humble. That we might think that it's all because of us. No, we have reached here because of so many reasons. So many people have lifted us on their shoulders, and we should, because I again link it to the feeling of inferiority, superiority. It is a matter of luck that life has given us a platform. There are so many worthy people who might not get this platform. That should make us very humble, and also we need to have good intentions. I believe that with good intentions, we can do a lot of good work. I'm sure all of you will excel in civil services exam, even after that in service, and even after that post-retirement. For example, sir, you saw him, he's 70 years old. Even post-retirement also, he's younger than any person in this gathering. So I really wish you all good luck. Try to be the best in whatever you do. Okay. Thank you.
Any last questions from any of you? We'll take one last question and
with this, we'll conclude.
Yes.
Sir, one last question regarding the answer writing. So we are in our schools, we were taught in the English essay writing, sir. Any yes or no type of questions were given. We should take yes or no type of questions for essay writing. We should take a stand on only one, either yes or no. So in the answer writing, we have studied a topic. So if you go writing the positive aspects, the examiner may think that we are unaware of the negative things. Or if we write only the negative things, they'll tell that you are not aware of the positive things, so you have to be positive. So if we mix it up, then that might not be precise. So how do we write this type of answer, sir?
So that was a long question, but if I have to sum it up, is the question about if there is a question where they are asking for an yes or a no, should we say an yes or should we say a no?
Yes.
Correct? Okay. Now there are different, it depends on the question. For example, if the question is, should,
Sir, I would like to give an example.
Please give.
Sir, they'll ask about the political parties in India, sir. So we know all the negative things about the political parties, what are the things they are doing. But we'll have to, as a bureaucrat, we'll have to tell the positive things because we are representing the government, sir. So if we write all the negative, if we do not write the negative things, it will be like covering their mistakes. So how do we write the answers precisely?
Okay. For example, if they ask the same question, what is the performance of political parties in India? One more trait of a good personality is that balanced judgment, not extremes of judgment. We need to be a balanced person. So here we can tell that it has been a fairly good experience, that all these wonderful things have happened. But then we have a lot of concerns as well. These are all the concerns. And no one is interested just in the problems. Problems anyone can tell. You are a problem solver. You're not there to just mention the problem. So now you tell that to address these problems, these things can be done. So that is how you arrive at a balance. You say yes also, you say no also, and you give a solution also. But there will be another type of questions. For example, should corruption be legalized in India? Here will you tell there are benefits of legalizing? There are concerns of legalizing. This is the way forward. No, there are few questions where you have to go for, like the Jainism, you have to go for the extreme path. Corruption is a dead evil thing. It's over my dead body. These are the reasons why I believe that it should not be legalized. So what stand to take at which position, that is wisdom, and it will come over with time. Okay. I would like to conclude with a quote that most of us are scared. Just like a bird initially, the egg will hatch, you know. What is that called? In a nest. The nest will be usually on a tree. Now the bird has never flied. Whenever it thinks of flying, what does it think? What does it tell to itself? What if I fall? But then, oh my darling, what if you fly? Take risk in life, pursue a passion, and you will definitely fly. Good luck. And again, thank you, Srinivas sir, for giving me this opportunity. In fact, sir was the one who asked me whether I would like to talk, and thanks to him for making you and me meet, and thanks to him for many other reasons as well. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Harsha. Almost more than 1.5 hours that you've been standing, answering all questions patiently, and very energetic. That crowd online, most of the questions have been answered. Some of the very factual questions we have, our team members have answered. You can always contact us for the answers as such. I now request Srinivas sir to say a few words. Harsha is repeatedly mentioning Srinivas sir's support, somebody who's been a pillar to many of us also. So Srinivas sir, stage now.
Good evening, all. First of all, sorry for attended this session very lately. What a wonderful evening. What a speaker. And what a personality. Harsha ಅವರು 2011 ನಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿವಿಲ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ಜರ್ನಿ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಅಥವಾ ನನಗೆ ಪರಿಚಯ ಆದಾಗ ನಾವೊಂದು ಅಕಾಡೆಮಿ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡಿಲ್ಲ. ಅಥವಾ ಈ ಒಂದು ಸುದಿನ ಹರ್ಷ ಅವರು IPS ಆಗಿ ಇದೇ ಅಕಾಡೆಮಿಗೆ ಬಂದು ನಿಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರನ್ನು ಉದ್ದೇಶಿಸಿ ಮಾತನಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಎನ್ನುವಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಯಾವುದೇ ಯೋಚನೆ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ಈ ದಿನವನ್ನು ಬಹಳ ಸುದಿನ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಕರಿತೀನಿ. ಎಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಫಾರ್ IAS ಅಕಾಡೆಮಿಯ ಒಂದು ಇತಿಹಾಸದಲ್ಲೇ ಇದೊಂದು ಒಳ್ಳೆಯ ಸುದಿನ. ಯಾಕೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ತುಂಬಾ ಸ್ಪೀಕರ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ನಾವು ಕರೆಸ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತೀವಿ. ಅವರ ಅನುಭವವನ್ನ, ಅವರ ಶ್ರೀಮಂತ ಅನುಭವ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಅನುಭವ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು, ಅವರ ಹಾಗೆ ನೀವು ಯಶಸ್ವಿ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗಳಾಗಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದೇ ನಮ್ಮ ಆಶಯ ಆಗಿರ್ತದೆ ಯಾವತ್ತೂ ಕೂಡ. ಇವತ್ತು ತುಂಬಾ ಸೆಷನ್ಸ್ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ನೋಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸೇ ಕೇಳಲ್ಲ ಮಕ್ಕಳು. ನಾವೇ ಅವರ ಹಿಂದೆ ಬಿದ್ದು ಅವರನ್ನ ಹುರಿದುಂಬಿಸಿ ಪ್ರೋತ್ಸಾಹಿಸಿ ಅವರಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಫೂರ್ತಿ ತುಂಬಿ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಕೇಳಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ. ಇವತ್ತು ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಎಷ್ಟು ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ನೀವು ಕೇಳಿದಿರಿ. ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ಡೌಟ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಬಹಳ ಸಶಕ್ತವಾಗಿ ಹರ್ಷ ಅವರು ನಿಮ್ಗೆಲ್ಲ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಾನು ಡೈಲಿ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬರೋ ಹೊತ್ತಿಗೆ 26 ವರ್ಷಗಳ ಸುದೀರ್ಘ ದೆಹಲಿ ಜೀವನವನ್ನ ಮುಗಿಸಿ ನಾನು ಕರ್ನಾಟಕಕ್ಕೆ ಹೊರಡುವ ಅವಧಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹರ್ಷ ಡೆಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಎಂಟರ್ ಆದರು ಆಸ್ ಎ ಅಸಿಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಕಮಿಷನರ್ ಆಫ್ ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ಡೆಲ್ಲಿ. ನಾನು ಹರ್ಷಕ್ಕೆ ಜೋಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ 2.5 ಡಿಕೆಡ್ ನಾನು ಡೆಲ್ಲಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಪೊಲೀಸಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ, ನಾನು ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಈ ಮಾತನ್ನ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿದೆ ನಾನು? ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರಪತಿ ಭವನ್ 4 ಕೋರ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಕ್ಯಾಬಿನೆಟ್ ಸೆಕ್ರೆಟರಿಯೇಟ್ ಒಂದು ಮೂಲೆ ಭಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಫೋಟೋ ಹೊಡ್ಸ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಅವತ್ತು ನಾನು ಇದನ್ನ ಹೇಳಿದೆ, ನಾನು ಡೆಲ್ಲಿ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ VRS ತಗೊಂಡು. ಒಂದೇ ಒಂದು ಉದ್ದೇಶ, ಈ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ನಾನು ಸಿವಿಲ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ಪ್ರಿಪ್ರೇಷನ್ ಅನ್ನ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಲ್ಲೇ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು. ನಮ್ಮ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಎಲ್ಲ ಬಡಬಗ್ರ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಡೆಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಬರಬಾರ್ದು. ಅವರೆಲ್ಲ ಬಹಳ ಹಂಬಲ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್ ಇಂದ ಬಂದಿರತಕ್ಕಂಥವರೆಲ್ಲ ಬಹಳ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಫೀಸಲ್ಲಿ ತಮ್ಮ ಕನಸನ್ನ ಇದೇ ನೆಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಕಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನುವಂತ ಒಂದು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಕನಸನ್ನು ಹೊತ್ತು ನಾನು ದೆಹಲಿಯನ್ನು ಬಿಟ್ಟು, ನನ್ನ ಜಾಬನ್ನು ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಾನು ಹೊರಟಂತ ದಿನದಲ್ಲಿ ಹರ್ಷಾಗಿ ನಾನು ಅದನ್ನು ಹೇಳಿದೆ. ಸೊ ಹರ್ಷ ಒಂದು ಮಾತು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು, ಇನ್ನೂ ನೆನಪಿದೆ ನನಗೆ. ಸರ್, ನೀವಿಲ್ಲದ ದಿಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇನು ರುಚಿ ಅನ್ಸಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ. ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ದೆ, ಇಲ್ಲ, ದೆಹಲಿ ಒಂದು ದೊಡ್ಡ ನಗರ. ಒಂದು ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಗಜ್ನಿ ಗೋರಿ ಬರ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಮೊದಲೇ ಡೆಲ್ಲಿ ಸುಲ್ತಾನೇಟ್ಗೂ ಮೊದಲೇ ಹಸ್ತಿನಾಪುರ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಇಂದ್ರಪ್ರಸ್ಥ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಡೆಲ್ಲಿ ಸುಲ್ತಾನೇಟ್, ಮುಘಲ್ಸ್, ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷರ್ಸ್. ಈಗ ನಾವು ಡೆಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಅದರದೇ ಆಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಒಂದು ನೇಚರ್ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಜನ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಹಾಗೆ ನಾವು ಇವತ್ತು ಹೋಗ್ತಿದ್ದೀವಿ, ನೀವು ಬರ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಿ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಜನರೇಷನ್ ನೀವು ದೆಹಲಿನಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಕನ್ನಡಿಗರ ರಾಯಭಾರಿಗಳ ತರ ನಮ್ಮ ಕನ್ನಡ ನಾಡು ನುಡಿಗೆ, ನಮ್ಮ ಕನ್ನಡದ ಜನಕ್ಕೆ ಸೇವೆ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಪ್ಪ. ಸೊ ಹಾಗೆ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಜನರೇಷನ್ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ನಮಗೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಗೊತ್ತಿದ್ದಂತ 4-6 ಹಿರಿಯ ಅಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳ ಪರಿಚಯ ಮಾಡಿ ನಾ ಡೆಲ್ಲಿ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೊರಟೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಹರ್ಷ ಛಲದಂಕಮಲ್ಲ, ಕನಸನ್ನ ಬಿಡಲ್ಲ. ನಾನು ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ಆಫೀಸರ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಕಂಡಂತ ಕನಸನ್ನ ಬೆಂಬಿಡದೆ ಬೆನ್ನತ್ತು ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡಂತಹ ಸಾಧಕ. ಏನ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಡೆಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಹೋದ ವಸ್ತ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಗೆಲ್ಲ ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಏನು ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಶನ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಬೇರೆ ಗ್ರಹಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಅನ್ನುವಂತ ಭಾವನೆ. ಹಳ್ಳಿಗಳಿಂದ ಹೋದಂಥವ್ರು ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಹರ್ಷ ಡೆಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಎಂಟರ್ ಆಗುವ ಕಾಲಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಪಂಚ ಬಹಳ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗಿತ್ತು. ನಾವು ಮೈಸೂರಿಂದ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು ಬರುವಷ್ಟರೊಳಗಡೆ ಹರ್ಷ ಡೆಲ್ಲಿಯಿಂದ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು ಬರ್ಬೋದಿತ್ತು. ಸೊ ಕಡರ್ ಯಾವುದೇ ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ರ್ ಅಲ್ಲ. ನೀವು ಬಿಹಾರ್ ಕಡ್ರೆ ಸಿಗ್ಲಿ, ಯು ಪಿ ಸಿಗ್ಲಿ, ಅಥವಾ ನೀವು ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನಿಕ್ ಸಿಟಿಯಿಂದ ದೇವನಹಳ್ಳಿಗೆ ಹೋಗೋಷ್ಟರೊಳಗಡೆ ಯು ಪಿಯಿಂದ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿಗೆ ಬರ್ಬೋದು ಟ್ರಾಫಿಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಪ್ರಪಂಚ ಬಹಳ ಚಿಕ್ಕದಾಗಿದೆ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರ್, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಮಾಡಲ್ ಆರ್ ವಿ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ ನಿಮಗೆಲ್ಲ, ಈಸ್ ಎ ಮಾಡಲ್. ನಂತರ IRPS, ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ರೈಲ್ವೆ ಪರ್ಸನಲ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್, ಜಾಬ್ ಸ್ಯಾಟಿಸ್ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅಗೇನ್ ದ್ಯಾನ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಒಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಯೂನಿಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಹಾಕಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥ ಖುಷಿ, ಆದರೂ ಸ್ಯಾಟಿಸ್ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. IPS ಆಗಬೇಕು. ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದಾಗೆಲ್ಲ ರಶ್ ಅಂತೂ ನಂದು, ಯಾವಾಗಾದರೂ ನಾನು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಜೋಕ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ. ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಜನ ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರು ಫಾರಿನ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಕನಸು ಪಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಕೊನೆಗೆ ಯಾವುದೋ IRTS, ಇನ್ಯಾವುದೋ ಆಡಿಟ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸು, ಕಾರ್ಪೊರೇಟ್ ಲಾ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್, ಈ ಥರ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ಗಳು ಸಿಗ್ತದೆ, ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಜಾಬ್ ಸ್ಯಾಟಿಸ್ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಷನೇ ಇರಲ್ಲ. ಕೆಲವರು ಪೊಲೀಸಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಫಾರಿನ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಜನ ಹಳಬರು ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ತುಂಬ ಜನ ಕನಸನ್ನು ಹೊತ್ತು ಹಾಗೆಲ್ಲ ಫಾರಿನ್ ಅನ್ನು ಹೊರಡಲ್ಲೇ ಒಂಥರ ನಮ್ಮ ಜನಕ್ಕೆ ರೋಮಾಂಚನ. ಫಾರಿನ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ವಿತ್ ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಟು ದಟ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್. ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಜನನ ಫಾರಿನ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ಇಂದ ಬಿಡಿಸಿ ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ಕೇಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದಿದ್ದೆ ನಾನು. ಬನ್ನಿ ನೀವು ಪೊಲೀಸಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಕ್ಕಾಪಟ್ಟೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಇದೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಯಾಕೆ ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಬಹಳ ಹತ್ತಿರದಿಂದ ಸಮಾಜವನ್ನ ಫೇಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಎಲ್ಲಾ ತರದ ಜನ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗಳನ್ನು ಹೊತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಪೊಲೀಸ್ನವ್ರ ಹತ್ರ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ. ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಸೇವೆಯ ಭಾಗ್ಯ ಈ ಸರ್ವಿಸಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. ಈಗ ಸಪೋಸ್ ಈ ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಟಲ್ಲಿ ಜನ ಪ್ರೊಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಸಿಟಿ ಇಲ್ಲ, ವಾಟರ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಪ್ರೊಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಏನೋ ಟ್ರಾಫಿಕ್ ಜಾಮ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಪ್ರೊಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಇನ್ಯಾವುದೋ ಕಾರಣಕ್ಕೆ ಕ್ರೈಮ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಪ್ರೊಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಗಳ ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ತೊಂದರೆಗೆ ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ಹೋಗಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತಲೆ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು. ಅಲ್ಟಿಮೇಟ್ಲಿ ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ತಲೆ ಕಟ್ತಾರೆ ಅದನ್ನ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮೇಲೆ, ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ವೃತ್ತಿಯ ಮೇಲೆ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಜವಾಬ್ದಾರಿ ಇದೆ. ನಮ್ಮ ಜನ ಎಲ್ಲ, ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಜನ ನಾನೆಲ್ಲ ಡ್ಯಾಫ್ ನೋಡುವಾಗ ನೋಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ನೇ ಆಪ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ ಯಾರು. IAS, IFS, IRS, ಕೊನೆಗೆ ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ತಗೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಕೆಲವರು ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸೇ ಹಾಕಲ್ಲ, ಏನು ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಜನ ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರು ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಕೆಟ್ಟದ IPS ಆದ್ರೂ ಕೂಡ, ಬೇಡ ಸರ್ ನಾನು ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗಲ್ಲ, ನನ್ಗೆ ಆಗ ಬರಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ ಅದು. ಇಲ್ಲೋ ನೋಡಿರ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ ವಾಟ್ಸಪ್ ಗ್ರೂಪಲ್ಲಿ, ಯಾರೋ ಪೊಲೀಸ್ನವ್ರು ಹೆಲ್ಮೆಟ್ ಹಾಕೊಂಡು ಏನೋ ದೊಣ್ಣೆ ಹಿಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಎಲ್ಲ ರಕ್ತ ಸುಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಿಂತಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಅದೊಂದು ಫೋಟೋ ನೋಡ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಸಾಕು ಇವ್ರಿಗೆ ಲೋ BP ಆಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಜನ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಆ ಥರ. ನಿಜವಾಗ್ಲೂ ನೀವು ಫಿಲ್ಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ತಿರಲ್ಲ, ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಟ್ರೈನಲ್ಲಿ ಟ್ರಾವೆಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಏನೊಂದು 20 ಬಾರಿ ನಾನು ಗಂಗಾಜಲ್ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಹಿಂದಿ ಮೂವಿ ಇದೆ, ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ ಗೊತ್ತಿರ್ಬೋದು ನಿಮಗೆ, ಅಜಯ್ ದೇವ್ಗನ್. ತುಂಬಾ ಬಾರಿ ನೋಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಅದನ್ನ. ಬಹಳ ಸಹಜವಾಗಿ ಆ ಮೂವಿನ ತೆಗೆದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಯಾಕೆ ನಾನು ಇದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ನಾನು ವರ್ಷ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಒಂದು ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಕೇಳೋದಿದೆ, ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ ಕೇಳಿ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಕೊನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳೋಣ ಆ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತೇಳಿ. ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಗುರುತರವಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಜವಾಬ್ದಾರಿ ಇದೆ. ನೀವು ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಫಿಲ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡುವಂಥದ್ದು ಅಥವಾ ಇನ್ನೆಲ್ಲೋ ವಾಟ್ಸಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಪಿಕ್ಚರ್ಗಳು ನೋಡಿ ಆ ಥರ ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಈಗ ಸಪೋಸ್ ಡೆಲ್ಲಿ ಪೊಲೀಸಲ್ಲಿ ಸುಮಾರು 20ಕ್ಕೂ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಯೂನಿಟ್ಗಳಿದೆ. ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರಪತಿ ಭವನ ಒಂದು ಯೂನಿಟ್, ಈ ಕಡೆ ಪಾರ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಒಂದು ಯೂನಿಟ್, ಏರ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಒಂದು ಯೂನಿಟ್, ಲೈಸೆನ್ಸಿಂಗ್ ಒಂದು ಯೂನಿಟ್, FRR ಫಾರಿನರ್ಸ್ ರೀಜನಲ್ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ಆಫೀಸ್, CAW ಸೆಲ್, ಕ್ರೈಮ್ ಅಗೇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ ವುಮೆನ್ ಸೆಲ್, ಆಪರೇಷನ್ ಸೆಲ್, ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಶನ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು ಬೇರೆ ಸಪರೇಟ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಇದೆ. ಸಪೋಸ್ ಡೆಲ್ಲಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು 90,000 ಜನ ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು 10,000 ರಿಂದ 15,000 ಜನ ಮಾತ್ರ ಪೊಲೀಸ್ನವ್ರು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ರಸ್ತೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾರೆ, ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಟ್ರಾಫಿಕ್ನಲ್ಲೋ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಕಡೆ. ಸುಮಾರು 90% ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಯಾರು ಕಾಣೋದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ ಯೂನಿಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, 90%. ಅಂಡ್ ದೆನ್ VVIP ಸೆಕ್ಯೂರಿಟಿ ಇಸ್ ದೇರ್, ಸೋ ಮೆನಿ ಯೂನಿಟ್ಸ್. ಕೆಲವರೆಲ್ಲ ಯೂನಿಫಾರ್ಮೇ ಹಾಕಲ್ಲ, ಪೊಲೀಸಿಗೆ ಬಂದು ಯೂನಿಫಾರ್ಮೇ ಹಾಕಲ್ಲ, ರಿಟೈರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ನಾವೇನ್ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ, ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಯೂನಿಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಹಾಕೊಂಡು ಅಥವಾ ಏನೋ ಫೋರ್ಸ್, ಶಕ್ತಿ ಪ್ರದರ್ಶನ ಮಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು, ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ ಎದ್ರೆ ಬರೀ ಕ್ರಿಮಿನಲ್ಗಳ ಜೊತೆನೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಒಡನಾಟ ಇರ್ತದೆ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದಲ್ಲ. ಕ್ರೈಮ್ ಅನ್ನ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. ನಾನು ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಕೇದಾರ್ ಸರ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಮಾಕ್ ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂ ಪ್ರಿಪ್ರೇಷನ್ ಇತ್ತು. UPSC ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂ ಹೋಗ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಮೊದಲೇ ಥರೋಲಿ ಆ ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂನ ನಾನು ಹರ್ಷವ್ರನ್ನ ನೋಡಿದೆ. ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಯಾವತ್ತಾದ್ರೂ ಆ ಲಿಂಕ್ ಅನ್ನ ಅವರ ಪರ್ಮಿಷನ್ ಕೊಟ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ತೋರಿಸ್ತೀವಿ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂ ಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಅನ್ನ ಫೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಪ್ರತಿ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ಗೂ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲದೆ ಇರೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ವಿನಯದಿಂದ ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಒಪ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಕಾಮ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಕಂಪೋಸ್ಡ್ ಪರ್ಸನಾಲಿಟಿ, ಇದೆಲ್ಲವನ್ನು ನಾನು ನಿಮಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ವೆಬ್ಸೈಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕಿ ಅವ್ರು ಪರ್ಮಿಷನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಪ್ರಶಾಂತ್, ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಒಬ್ಬ ಸಿವಿಲ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ಆಸ್ಪಿರೆಂಟ್ ಆ ಒಂದು ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂ ವಿಡಿಯೋನ ನೋಡಲೇಬೇಕು. ಯಾಕೆ ಈ 10-11 ವರ್ಷದಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರತಿದಿನ ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳಿದಾಗೆ ಪ್ರತಿದಿನ ನಮ್ಮ ಒಂದು ಪರ್ಸನಾಲಿಟಿ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಘಟನೆಗಳು ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ವಿಚಾರಗಳು ಪುಸ್ತಕದಿಂದ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು, ನಮ್ಮ ತಂದೆ ತಾಯಿಯಿಂದ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು, ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರಿಂದ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು, ಅಥವಾ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಸುತ್ತಮುತ್ತಲು ನಡೀತಾ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಘಟನೆಗಳು ನಮ್ಮನ್ನ ಒಬ್ಬ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಯನ್ನಾಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. ನಾಳೆ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಮಂತ್ UPSC ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂ ಇದೆ. ಇವತ್ತಿಂದ ಕುತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಪ್ರಿಪ್ರೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡು 15-20 ದಿನದಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪರ್ಸನಾಲಿಟಿ ಇಂಪ್ರೂವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯನಾ? ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ನನ್ನ ವೈಯಕ್ತಿಕ ಒಂದು ಅನುಭವ ಹೇಳ್ತದೆ. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪರ್ಸನಾಲಿಟಿ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದು ಇಡೀ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಜೀವನದ ಒಟ್ಟು ಮೊತ್ತ. ನಿಮಗೆ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಒಂದು ಸೋಷಿಯಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ನಿಮಗೆ ಸಾಮಾಜೀಕರಣ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ನೀವು ಆಟಿಟ್ಯೂಡ್ ಅನ್ನು ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀರಿ, ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಥಾಟ್ ಪ್ರಾಸೆಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ನೀವು ಇಂಪ್ರೂವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀರಿ, ಎಲ್ಲ ವಿಚಾರಗಳ ಒಂದು ಮೊತ್ತ ಪರ್ಸನಾಲಿಟಿ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದು. ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಹರ್ಷವರ್ಧನ್ ಜೊತೆ ಯಾವಾಗ ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ರು ಫನ್ನಿ ಆಗಿರ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು, ಆಸ್ ಎ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ ತರ ಇರ್ತಿದ್ವಿ. ನಾನು ಆ ವಿಡಿಯೋ ನೋಡಿದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಹರ್ಷ ಅವರ ಹಾಗೆ ಇರಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಬಯಸಿದ್ದಿದೆ ನನಗೆ. ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ಇವತ್ತು ನೀವು ನೋಡಿದ್ದೀರಿ ಅವ್ರು ಎಷ್ಟು ಬಹಳ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸ್ಡ್ ವೇನಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಜೊತೆ ಟು ದಿ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಬೇಕೋ ಅಷ್ಟು ಸ್ಫುಟವಾಗಿ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಆ ಕಡೆ ಈ ಕಡೆ ಎಲ್ಲೂ ಹೋಗಿದ್ ನೋಡಿಲ್ಲ ನಾನು. ಸೊ ನೀವು ಕೂಡ ಒಬ್ಬ ಸಿವಿಲ್ ಸರ್ವೆಂಟ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಏನಿದು ಸಿವಿಲ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ಪ್ರಿಪ್ರೇಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೆಯೋದು ಓದೋದು ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಸಿವಿಲ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಅದೊಂದು 10% ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಅದಲ್ಲದೆ ಇನ್ನೂ 90% ಬೇರೆಯದೇ ಆಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ವಿಚಾರಗಳು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮನಸ್ಸಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಹರಿದಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ಬೇಕು. ಒಂದೇ ವಿಚಾರ ನೀವು ನೋಡಿರ್ಬೇಕಲ್ಲ, ಕ್ರಿಕೆಟ್ ಆಡುವಾಗ ಯಾರೋ ಒಬ್ಬ ಸಿಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಒಬ್ರು ಅಂಪೈರ್, ಒಬ್ಬ ಕೀಪರ್, ಬೌಲರ್, ಬ್ಯಾಟ್ಸ್ಮನ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಅವರವ್ರದೇ ಆಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಚಿಂತನ ದಾಟಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಒಬ್ಬ ಅಥವಾ ಯಾರೋ ಥರ್ಡ್ ಮ್ಯಾನ್ ಅವರವರದೇ ಆಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಚಿಂತನಾ ಲಹರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ಬೌಲಿಂಗ್ ಒಬ್ಬ ಬೌಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಫ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಬಾಲ್ ಕ್ರಾಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಫ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬ್ಯಾಟ್ಸ್ಮನ್ ಕೂಡ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಲ್ಲ, ಫ್ರಂಟ್ ಫುಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಡ್ಬೇಕಾ, ಅದನ್ನ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಫುಟ್ ಹೋಗಿ ಆಡ್ಬೇಕಾ, ಅಥವಾ ಅದನ್ನ ನಾನು ಯಾವ ಶಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಆಡ್ಲಿ, ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದನ್ನು ಬಹಳ ಕೆಲವು ಒಂದು ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಡಿಸಿಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗಿರ್ತದೆ. ಬೌಲಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡೋನು ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ಬ್ಯಾಟ್ಸ್ಮನ್ ವೀಕ್ನೆಸ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿರ್ಬೇಕು, ಒಂದು ಫುಟ್ ವರ್ಕಿಂಗು, ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಗ್, ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂತ್ ಎಲ್ಲ. ಬೌಲಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡೋರು UPSC ತರ ಇದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಬ್ಯಾಟಿಂಗ್ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಕಲ್ತಿರ್ಬೇಕು. ನೆನ್ನೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರಿಲಿಮ್ಸ್ ಬರ್ದಿರ್ತಾರೆ ಕೆಲವರು, ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಪ್ರತಿ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಅನ್ನ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರ್ತೀರಿ ನೀವು ಟೈಮ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಒಬ್ಬ ಅಧಿಕಾರಿ ಆಗುವ ಎಲ್ಲ ಲಕ್ಷಣಗಳನ್ನ ನೀವು ಆ ಪ್ರಿಲಿಮ್ಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ 3 ಗಂಟೆ 2 ಗಂಟೆ ಒಳಗಡೆ ನೀವು ತೋರ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತೀರಿ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಡಿಸಿಷನ್ ಮೇಕಿಂಗ್ ಎಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಅಂಡ್ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ನೀವು ಕ್ವಿಕ್ ಆಗಿ ಡಿಸಿಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ, ಈ ತರದೆಲ್ಲ ವಿಚಾರಗಳು ನೀವು ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಈ ಪ್ರಾಸೆಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ನೀವು ಅಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳಾಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿರ್ತೀರಿ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದು. UPSC ಅದನ್ನ ಕಲ್ಸ್ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರುತ್ತೆ ನಿಮಗೆ. ಹರ್ಷ ಓವರ್ ಹರ್ಷ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ರಾತ್ರಿಗಳು, ನಿದ್ದೆ ಇಲ್ಲದ ರಾತ್ರಿಗಳು, ಕನಸನ್ನು ಹೊತ್ತು ನಿದ್ದೆ ಇಲ್ಲದ ರಾತ್ರಿಗಳನ್ನ ಕಳೆದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದ್ರ ಹಿಂದೆಗಡೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಬೆವರಿದೆ, ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಇದೆ, ಮೆಂಟಲ್ ಎಗೋನಿ ಇದೆ. ಅವ್ರು ನೋಡ್ತಾ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಬಹಳ ಹೀರೋ ತರ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ಮತ್ತೆ ನಗ್ನಗ್ತಾ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ ನಮಗೂ ಖುಷಿ ಅನಿಸ್ತಿತ್ತು ಇನ್ನೂ ಅರ್ಧ ಗಂಟೆ ಕೇಳಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. ಹರ್ಷ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಡಿಕೆಟ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೆ. RV ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರ್ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಸೈನ್ಸ್. ತದನಂತರ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ಇಚ್ಛೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ಲಿ. ಜೊತೆನಲ್ಲಿ ಲೈಬ್ರರಿ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು, ಮ್ಯಾಗಝಿನ್ಸ್ ಓದೋದು, ಪೇಪರ್ ಓದೋದು, ಕನಸನ್ನ ಬೆನ್ನತ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ, ಈ ಒಂದು ಏನು ಸಿವಿಲ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಇದೆ, ಯಾರಿಗೂ ಈ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ, ಮೋಸ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ ಯಾರಿಗೂ. ನಿಮಗೆ ನೀವೇ ಮೋಸ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕೆ ಹೊರತು ಈ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಯಾರಿಗೂ ಮೋಸ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ. ಏನ್ ಕೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ನಾನು ಒಂದು 5-6 ವರ್ಷದಿಂದ ಹರ್ಷವ್ರನ್ನ ನೋಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಮೊದಲನೇ ಬಾರಿ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಇಯರ್ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ಅವ್ರು ಇಂಟು ಬರ್ತಾನೆ ಇರ್ತಿದ್ರು ಯಾವಾಗ್ಲೂ. ನಾನು ತುಂಬಾ ಬಾರಿ ಜೋಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ ಹರ್ಷಗೆ, ಪೊಲೀಸನ್ನ ನೀವು ಯಾವುದೇ ಕಾರಣಕ್ಕೂ ಬಿಡಲ್ಲ, ಪಕ್ಕ ನೀವು IAS ಅಲ್ಲ IPS ಅದೇ ಆಗ್ತೀರಿ ಅಂತೇಳಿ. ಸೊ ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ನೋಡುವಾಗ ಮೊನ್ನೆ ಇಲ್ಲ, ನಾವು ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಬಂತಲ್ಲ ಮೊನ್ನೆ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್, ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಟೀಮ್ ಕುತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ನೋಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಪ್ರಶಾಂತ್ ಯಾರೋ ಇರ್ಬೇಕು, ಪ್ರಶಾಂತ್ ಅಥವಾ ಬೇರೆ ಯಾರೋ ಟೀಮ್ ಮೆಂಬರ್, 1000 ವರ್ಷದಾಗಿದೆ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಬಹಳ ಜೋರಾಗಿ ಕಿರ್ಚಿದ್ರು ಇಲ್ಲೇ ನನ್ನ ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ ಚೇಂಬರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ರ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ನೋಡ್ರಪ್ಪ ಅಂತ ನನ್ಗೆ ಇಷ್ಟ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದು. ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ಹರ್ಷ IPS ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಇನ್ಯಾವುದೋ ರುಚಿನೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅವರು ರುಚಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಆ ಥರದಲ್ಲ, ಪ್ಯಾಷನ್. ಎಷ್ಟು 300 ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ರ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಏನೋ ಬಂದಿದೆ ಅಂತ, 318. ಸೊ ಆ ಥರ ಅಂತ ಇದ್ದಂಗೆ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಫೋನ್ ಬಂತ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ, ಅಥವಾ ನೀವೇ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಇವರೇ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ಸೊ ನಾನು ಕಂಗ್ರ್ಯಾಚುಲೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಹೇಳಿದೆ. ನನ್ನ ಫೋನ್ ಆ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಬಿಸಿ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ವೆರಿ ಹಾಟ್ ಫೋನ್ ಆನ್ ದಟ್ ಟೈಮ್. ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಜನ, 1000 ಜನಕ್ಕೆ ಆ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಫೋನ್ ಸಿಗ್ತಿರಲ್ಲ. ಕೆಲವರು ಮೀಡಿಯಾದವರು, ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರು, ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕೇಳ್ತಿರ್ತಾರೆ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕಕ್ಕೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ರ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಬಂದಿದೆ. ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ಶ್ರೀನಿವಾಸ್ ಅವ್ರ ಹತ್ರ ಒಂದು ಅಕ್ಯುರೇಟ್ ಫಿಗರ್ ಸಿಗ್ತದೆ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥ ನಂಬಿಕೆ ಇರ್ಬೇಕು, ಅನ್ನೋ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಮಾಡಲಿಲ್ಲ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ಲಿ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಇವ್ರು ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಸಖತ್ ಖುಷಿ ಆಯ್ತು ನನಗೆ ಅವತ್ತು. ಬೇರೆ ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರದೆಲ್ಲ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ. ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ಈ 10 ವರ್ಷ ಶ್ರಮ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಆ ಒಂದು ಬೆಂಬಿಡದೆ ಕನಸನ್ನ ಚೇಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಅದು ಅಷ್ಟು ಈಸಿ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಬಟ್ ಆ ಪೇಷನ್ಸ್, ತಾಳ್ಮೆಗೆ ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ಹೆಸರು ಹರ್ಷನೇ ಇರ್ಬೇಕೇನೋ. ಯಾಕೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಜನ ನಮ್ಮ ಯಂಗ್ಸ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಕುದುರೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ ಸಿವಿಲ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ಗೆ. ಕುದುರೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಬಂದು ಕುದುರೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥವ್ರನ್ನ ಬಹಳ ಜನ ನೋಡಿದ್ರು. ಪೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಇವತ್ತು ಬರ್ಬೇಕು, ನಾಳೆ IAS ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು, ಆಚೆ ನಾಳಿದ್ದು ಮೈಸೂರು DC ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಹರ್ಷನ್ ಜೊತೆ ಕಾಂಪೀಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಲ್ಲ ನೀವು. ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಇಯರ್ ನಿಮ್ ಜೊತೆಲೆ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಬರ್ದಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಹರ್ಷನ್ ಜೊತೆ ಕಾಂಪೀಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರು ಎಷ್ಟು ವರ್ಷ ಓದಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ನಿಮ್ಗಿಂತ ಮೊದಲು ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಫಿಲಿಮ್ಸ್ ಬರ್ದಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಮೈನ್ಸ್ ಬರ್ದಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಅರ್ಥಕೋಬೇಕಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟಿಕಲಿ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಪಾಸಿಬಲ್. ಅಥವಾ ಯಾರೋ 10th ಇಂದ ಈಗೆಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ಒಂದು ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿದೀವಿ, PUC ಇಂದನೇ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಸಿವಿಲ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು ಬೀಜ ಬಿತ್ತುವ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವನ್ನ ಹಾಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಓದ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಆ ಗ್ರಾಜುಯೇಷನ್ ಮುಗಿಯೋಷ್ಟ್ರೊಳಗಡೆ ಆ ಸಿವಿಲ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ನ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕ್ರಕ್ಸ್ಗಳು, ಬೇಸಿಕ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಬಹಳ ಎಂಗೇಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು IPS IAS ಗಳಾದ್ರೆ, IFS ಆದ್ರೆ, ಫಾರಿನ್ ಸೆಕ್ರೆಟರಿ, ಚೀಫ್ ಸೆಕ್ರೆಟರಿ, ಕ್ಯಾಬಿನೆಟ್ ಸೆಕ್ರೆಟರಿ, CBI ಚೀಫ್, ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ಆದ್ರೆ DGP, ಇಂಥ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಹುದ್ದೆಗಳಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೋದು. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ ಯಂಗ್ ಏಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಸಿವಿಲ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ಬಂದ್ರೆ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಎಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೆ ರಿಟೈರ್ಡ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ ಅಷ್ಟರೊಳಗಡೆ ನೀವು ಟಾಪ್ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್, ಟಾಪ್ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಬ್ಯೂರೋಕ್ರಾಟ್ಸ್ ಆಗಬಹುದು. ಅದು ನಮ್ಮ ದುರಾದೃಷ್ಟವಶಾತ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ನೂ ಆ ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತಿ, ಆ ಕಲ್ಚರ್ ಇನ್ನೂ ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಆ ಕಲ್ಚರನ್ನ ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಮಾಡುವುದರಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಫಾರ್ IAS ಸತತವಾಗಿ ಶ್ರಮಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದ ಉದ್ದಗಲಕ್ಕೂ ನಾವು ಅವೇರ್ನೆಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾಂಪ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ನಮ್ಮ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಗ್ರಾಜುಯೇಷನ್ ಜೊತೆನಲ್ಲಿ, ಹರ್ಷ ಅವರು ಬರೀ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ಓದ್ಕೊಂಡೆ ಕೂತಿದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಸಾಫ್ಟ್ವೇರ್ ಕಂಪ್ನಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಕೌಂಟರ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು, ಅದರೊಳಗಡೆ ಒಂದು ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್, ಒಂದಷ್ಟು ಸ್ಯಾಲ್ರಿ, ಅಷ್ಟಕ್ಕೆ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಆ ಬಾಕ್ಸ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಬದುಕು ಸೀಮಿತ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತೇನೋ ಅನ್ನುವಂತಹ ಒಂದು ವಿಚಾರ. ನಿಮ್ಮನ್ನ ನೀವು ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಕನಸು ಕಾಣಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಕಂಜೂಸಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಡಿ, ಸೀಮಿತ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಳ್ಬೇಡಿ. ದೊಡ್ಡ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಕನಸನ್ನ ಕಾಣಿ. ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇದೆ. ಈ ಜನರೇಷನ್ ಯಾರನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಕಂಪ್ಲೇಂಟ್ ಮಾಡುವಾಗೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ನೀವು ಯಾರ ಮೇಲೂ ನೀವು ಕಂಪ್ಲೇಂಟೇ ಮಾಡೋಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. ನಮ್ಮ ಬಡತನ ಇದೆ, ನನಗೆ ಕಷ್ಟ ಇದೆ, ನನಗೆ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ನನಗೆ ಸರಿಯಾದ ಗೈಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿಲ್ಲ, ನಮ್ಗೆ ಯಾರು ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ನೆಪ. ನಿಜವಾಗ್ಲೂ ನಾನೊಂದು ಸಿವಿಲ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸಕ್ಸಸ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನುವಂತ ಬೆಂಕಿ ನಿಮ್ಮೊಳಗಡೆ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದೇ ಆದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ ಶಕ್ತಿನೂ ಕೂಡ ನಿಮ್ಮನ್ನ ಸಿವಿಲ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ಪಾಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ ತಡೀಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕೆ? ಮೊದಲೆಲ್ಲ ನೀವು ಡೆಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕಿತ್ತು. ವರ್ಷ ಅವರೆಲ್ಲ ಜರ್ನಿ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಯಾವುದೇ ಈ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಏನಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಕೇವಲ ಬುಕ್ಸ್ಗಳನ್ನ ಅಥವಾ ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲ್ ಅನ್ನ ಏನ್ ಓದ್ಬೇಕು ಏನ್ ಓದ್ಬಾರ್ದು ಅಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ವರ್ಷ ಹಿಡಿತಾ ಇತ್ತು ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ಲಿ. ರೈಟ್? ಒಂದು ವರ್ಷ ಈ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ವರ್ಷ ಮುಗ್ದೋಗ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು. ಈ ತರ ನಿಮ್ಗೆಲ್ಲ ಸಕ್ಸಸ್ಫುಲ್ ಕ್ಯಾಂಡಿಡೇಟ್ಸ್ ಆಗ ಬಹಳ ಬಿಡ್ಲ. ಈ ತರ ಎಲ್ಲ ನಿಮ್ಗೆಲ್ಲ ಬಂದು ಅವರ ಅನುಭವಗಳನ್ನ ನಿಮ್ ಜೊತೆ ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಈ ತರದ ಅವಕಾಶಗಳು ಬಹಳ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇತ್ತು. ಹುಬ್ಳಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಒಬ್ರು IAS ಆಗಿದಾರಂತೆ, ಬೆಳಗಾವಲ್ಲಿ ಒಬ್ರು IAS ಆಗಿದಾರಂತೆ, ಅಥವಾ ಇನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಮಂಗಳೂರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಒಬ್ರು IAS ಆಗಿದಾರಂತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಹುಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ವಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ. ನಾವು ಹುಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗೋಷ್ಟೊಳಗಡೆ ಅವ್ರು ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ಅಕಾಡೆಮಿಗೋ ಲಬಾಸ್ನಾಗೋ ಹೊರಟೋಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತಿದ್ರು, ಸಿಗ್ತಾನೆ ಇರ್ತಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಇವತ್ತೆಲ್ಲ ಈ ಹೊಸ ಜನರೇಷನ್ ಬಹಳ ಪ್ರೀತಿಯಿಂದ, ನಿಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರ ಮೇಲಿನ ಪ್ರೀತಿಯಿಂದ ಇವತ್ತು ಹರ್ಷ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ಲಿ ರಜದ ಮೇಲೆ ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಮತ್ತೆ ನಾಳೆ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಡೆಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೋದು. ನಿಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರ ಮೇಲಿನ ಒಂದೇ ಒಂದು, ನಮ್ಮ ಕನ್ನಡದ ಮಕ್ಕಳು, ನನ್ನಿಂದ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಸ್ಫೂರ್ತಿ ಸಿಗ್ಬೋದಾ, ನಾನು ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಮೋಟಿವೇಟ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದಾ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥ ಒಂದು ಸೇವಾ ಮನೋಭಾವನ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಇವತ್ತು ಅವ್ರು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ವಿನಃ ಇವತ್ತೆಲ್ಲ ಅವರು ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿಗೆ ಟೈಮ್ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು, ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಗರ್ಲ್ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ಟೈಮ್ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಎಲ್ಲ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಿಮ್ಮನ್ನ ಉದ್ದೇಶಿಸಿ ಮಾತಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆ ಕಾರಣದಿಂದ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಅಥವಾ ಈ ಸೆಷನ್ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಫ್ರೂಟ್ಫುಲ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಅವರ ಒಂದು ಶ್ರೀಮಂತ ಅನುಭವ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ದೊರಕಿರ್ಬೋದು ಅಂತ ನಾನು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಯಾಕೆ ಇವತ್ತು ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಫಾರ್ IAS ಅಕಾಡೆಮಿಯ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಸುದಿನ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ನಾನು ಮತ್ತೆ ಅವರು ಒಂದೇ ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ನಾನೇನು 26 ವರ್ಷ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಅದನ್ನ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ಲಿ 2 ವರ್ಷದಲ್ಲಿ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ ಅವರು. ಈಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಸ್ಮಾರ್ಟ್, ವೆರಿ ಇಂಟೆಲಿಜೆಂಟ್, ವೆರಿ ಅಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಪರ್ಸನಾಲಿಟಿ ಅಂಡ್ ವೆರಿ ಅಮೇಜಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಪೀಕರ್. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಈ ಥರದ ಸೆಷನ್ಗಳನ್ನ ಮುಂದೆನೂ ಕೂಡ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರ್ತೀವಿ. ಹರ್ಷ ಅವರು ಏನು ಇವತ್ತು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಇನ್ನೂ ವಿಭಿನ್ನವಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಬೇರೆಯವ್ರದ್ದಾಗಿರ್ಬೋದು. ಆ ಥರದ ಒಂದು ಶ್ರೀಮಂತ ಅನುಭವ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಸಕ್ಸಸ್ಫುಲ್ ಕ್ಯಾಂಡಿಡೇಟ್ಸ್ನ ಒಂದು ಸೀರೀಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ನಾವು ಹಾಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಇನ್ನೂ 10 ಹಲವು ಈ ಥರದ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಗಳನ್ನ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಫಾರ್ IAS ಅಕಾಡೆಮಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರ್ತದೆ. ನಮ್ಗೆಲ್ರಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ CS ಕೇದಾರ್ ಅವರ ಒಂದು ಬ್ಲೆಸ್ಸಿಂಗ್ಸ್, ಗೈಡೆನ್ಸ್, ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂತ್ ಇದೆ. ನಮ್ಮ ಮೂಲ ಉದ್ದೇಶ ಇಷ್ಟೇ. ವಿ ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ ವೆರಿ ಪ್ಯಾಷನೇಟ್ to help you to build your career and future and help you to realizing your dreams. ಸೊ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ತಂಡ ಇದೆ. ಪ್ರಶಾಂತ್ ಆದಿಯಾಗಿ ಎಲ್ಲ UPSC ಹಂತಗಳನ್ನ ನೋಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಪ್ರಿಲಿಮ್ಸ್, ಮೈನ್ಸ್, ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂ, ಅಗೈನ್ ಪ್ರಿಲಿಮ್ಸ್, ಮೈನ್ಸ್, ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂ, ಹೀಗೆ 16 ಬಾರಿ ಈ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ನ ಒಳ ಹೊರಹುಗಳನ್ನ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ ಅವರಿಗೆ. ಅವರೇನು ಮಿಸ್ಟೇಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅವ್ರ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂತ್ ಏನು, ವೀಕ್ನೆಸ್ ಏನು, ಎಲ್ಲ ಥರದ ಅನುಭವಗಳನ್ನ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಅನುಭವ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ನಮ್ಮ ತಂಡ ಕಟಿಬದ್ಧವಾಗಿ ನಿಂತಿದೆ. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಈಗ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಒಂದು ಮಾತು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಹರ್ಷ ಅವರು, ಎಲ್ಲವನ್ನು ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್ಗಳು ಕೊಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯನಾ, ಅಷ್ಟು ಟೈಮ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಈಗ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ ಜರ್ನಿ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದಿರಿ ಅಲ್ವಾ? 6 ತಿಂಗಳಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಸಾಮಾಜಿಕ ಒತ್ತಡ, ಕೌಟುಂಬಿಕ ಒತ್ತಡ, ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಒತ್ತಡಗಳು ಶುರು ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಪ್ರಿಲಿಮ್ಸ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ ತರ ಒತ್ತಡಗಳು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮೇಲೆ ಶುರು ಆಗ್ತದೆ. 1 ವರ್ಷ 2 ವರ್ಷ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಯಾರೋ ನಂಟರು ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಇನ್ನೂ IAS ಓದ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವ್ರೇನ್ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, IAS ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಇಯರ್ ಬಂದು ಪೇಪರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇವ್ರ ಹೆಸರು ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಅದ್ರ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಇಯರ್ ಬಂದು ನಮ್ಮ ಮಂಡ್ಯಗೆ SP ಆಗ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಎಲ್ಲರ ಕನಸು ಇರ್ತದೆ ಈ ತರ. ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟಿಕಲಿ ಈಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಪಾಸಿಬಲ್? ಆದರೆ ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ ಇವತ್ತಿನಿಂದಲೇ ನಾನು ಒಬ್ಬ ಬ್ಯೂರೋಕ್ರಾಟ್, ನಾನು ಒಬ್ಬ IAS, ನಾನು ಒಬ್ಬ ಅಧಿಕಾರಿ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ನೀವು ಭಾವಿಸ್ಕೋಬೇಕು, ನಿಮ್ಮನ್ನ ನೀವು ಫೀಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಆ ಕ್ರಿಯೆಯ ಒಳಗಡೆ ನೀವು ಬಹಳ ಎತ್ತರಕ್ಕೆ, ಬೌದ್ಧಿಕವಾಗಿ ಬಹಳ ಎತ್ತರಕ್ಕೆ ಬೆಳೆದಿರ್ತೇವೆ. ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರುವಾಗ ಈ ಇಷ್ಟು ವರ್ಷದ ಅನುಭವದಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿವಿಲ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಬಂದು ಬಹಳ ಸೀರಿಯಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಗಾಂಭೀರ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಓದಿದಂತಹ ಯಾವುದೇ ಅಭ್ಯರ್ಥಿ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ಸಿಗದೇ ಇದ್ರೂ ಕೂಡ ಎಲ್ಲೋ ತುಂಬಾ ಹಾಳಾಗಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಅಂತ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಬೇರೆ ಇನ್ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಬದುಕಿನ ರಂಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾಧನೆ ಮಾಡಿ, ವೆದರ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಅಗ್ರಿಕಲ್ಚರ್ ಆರ್ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಆರ್ ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್ ಆರ್ ಎನಿ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಲೈಫ್, ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ಅಚೀವ್ಗಳು ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥವ್ರನ್ನ ನಾನು ನೋಡಿ. ನಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರಶಾಂತ್ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಬಹಳ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಉದಾಹರಣೆ. ನಾನು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ನಾಲೆಡ್ಜ್, ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಅಟೆಂಪ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಮುಗಿತು, ಬರೀಲಿಕ್ಕಾಗ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಏಜ್ ಬಾರ್ ಆಯ್ತು. ಆದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಪಡೆದುಕೊಂಡಂತ ನಾಲೆಡ್ಜ್ ಅನ್ನ ನಾನು ಆಗ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಆ ಕನಸನ್ನ ನೋಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬಯಸ್ತಾರೆ. ಅದನ್ನ ನಾನು ಬಹಳ ಹತ್ತಿರದಿಂದ ನೋಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಸೊ ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ ಮೊನ್ನೆ ಪ್ರಶಾಂತ್ ಮುಖದಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ತಿರ್ಬೇಕು ನೀವು ಎಲ್ಲ, ನಮ್ಮ ಟೀಮ್ ಮುಖದಲ್ಲಿ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ ಬಂದಾಗ ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕ್ಯಾಂಡಿಡೇಟ್ಸ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿರ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ, ಅಪೂರ್ವ ಅದಾಗಿದೆ, ನಮ್ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಬೆನಕ್ ಅದಾಗಿದೆ. ಎಷ್ಟು ಖುಷಿ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನನಗೆ ನಿಜವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಅವರೇ ಅಚೀವ್ ಮಾಡದಷ್ಟು ಸಂತಸವನ್ನ ಎಲ್ಲರ ಜೊತೆ ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ಆ ಒಂದು ಪ್ಯಾಷನ್ ಇಂದ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಫಾರ್ IAS ತಂಡ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದೆ. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ನಿಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರ ಒಂದು ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಕೂಡ ಇರಲಿ, ನಾವು ನಿಮ್ ಜೊತೆ ಇರ್ತೀವಿ. ಈ ತರದ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಗಳು ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಹೆಚ್ಚು ನಡೀತಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಅದ್ರ ಸದುಪಯೋಗವನ್ನು ನೀವು ಪಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಜೀವನವನ್ನು ಬಹಳ ಉನ್ನತ ಮಟ್ಟದಲ್ಲಿ ಕಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಅದ್ರ ಜೊತೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರ ಕಟ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕಾರ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಜವಾಬ್ದಾರಿ ಬಹಳ ದೊಡ್ಡದು. ಈ ದೇಶಕ್ಕೆ ನಿಮ್ಮಿಂದ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಆ ನಿಟ್ಟಿನಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ ಕಾರ್ಯಪ್ರವೃತ್ತರಾಗ್ತೀರಿ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಬಯಸ್ತಾ, ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟೆಲ್ಲ ಒತ್ತಡದ ನಡುವೆ ವ್ಯಸ್ತವಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ದಿನದ ನಡುವೆ ಕೂಡ ಬಹಳ ಪ್ರೀತಿಯಿಂದ ಮೊನ್ನೆ ಕೇಳಿದಾಗ ಹರ್ಷ ಅವರು ಫಾರ್ ಎನಿಥಿಂಗ್ ಫಾರ್ ಯು ಸರ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ. ಸೊ ನಾನು ಏನಿಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ, ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಟೈಮ್ ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ, ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ನಮ್ಮ ಮಕ್ಳಿಗೆ ಒಂದ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಟೈಮ್ ಕೊಡಿ ಅಂತ. ಆಯ್ತು ಸರ್ ಅಂತ ಬಹಳ ಪ್ರೀತಿಯಿಂದ ಒಪ್ಕೊಂಡು ಇವತ್ತು ಬಂದು ನಿಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರನ್ನು ಅಕ್ಕರೆಯಿಂದ ಪ್ರೀತಿಯಿಂದ ಉದ್ದೇಶಿಸಿ ಮಾತನಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅವರ ಅನುಭವಗಳನ್ನು ಹಂಚ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವರಿಗೆ ಒಟ್ಟು ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಫಾರ್ IAS ತಂಡದ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಹಾಗೂ ನಿಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದಿದ್ದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳನ್ನ ತುಂಬ ಹೃದಯದಿಂದ ಅರ್ಪಿಸ್ತೀನಿ. ಸೊ ಅವರಿಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಅಕಾಡೆಮಿ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ನನ್ನೊಂದು ಪ್ರಿಯವಾದ ಪುಸ್ತಕ ಇದೆ, ಕೊಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಬಯಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಅದನ್ನ ಹರ್ಷ ಅವರು ಅಕ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, Harsha. It's been an evening of a lot of stories, a lot of dreams, and a lot of aspirations. A message is very clear that each and every one of you, each and everyone who are listening can make this dream a reality. So it is up for you. It is up for each one of us to ensure that every dream that we see, irrespective of the time that takes, the effort that it takes, it can become a reality. Let's all pledge to make every dream that we see a reality, work towards it with all honesty in our command, and wish you all a very, very best so that you realize the dreams that you see. Congratulating Harsha on behalf of the entire team and family of India for IAS. Thank you so much for making time for us, and we wish Karnataka and India gets yeoman service from an officer, and many young aspirants get inspired from individuals like you, and the country gets to see many young officers of the similar nature. Thank you very much, Harsha, for making time for us, and thank you to all of you audience. Yeah, so we'll have one group photograph from where we'll have a photograph with Harsha. Two things that we'll not share about Harsha is his phone number. Probably we'll share his email ID so that there is any questions that you can share and ask about him. We'll take one group photograph. All those who are interested, please join on this on stage. We'll have one group photograph to join with.